And say that TOS.
TOS. People stripping paint off
That's
of
it.
furniture.
That's the one.
That's the
Like-
part. That's
Like on HGTV.
For context, we were just talking about fucking people freezing to death in the snow. So
that's not something that happens in this game because we're in like a temperate climates.
Yet.
well, I mean, in the valley, sure.
Is Barovia temperate?
It's a valley.
It's Castlevania. I'm sure we can go to the fucking mountains.
Are you sure the mountains are not like end of world stuff? Like we fall off. Like there's a.
You know,
No,
there's
that was-
always something like
No,
right
that
at
was
the world
that was
wall.
the mist being the world border.
If we get past the border, it'll flash red at us and we'll be teleported back to where we started.
Guys, I figured out how to get out of Barovia. We just need to clip through the wall.
Okay, so I will press
Alright,
tilde.
we have
Till
to
that,
do
no
Wind
clip.
Waker wall skip.
Yeah.
We have to do Wind Waker barrier
Yeah.
skip to get to the
Yeah.
Hyrule Castle.
Wait, so
Let's
is
do
the
it.
way to win Curse of Strahd just getting out, or do you have to kill Strahd?
You can't have one without the other. As you will learn. Hey everybody, welcome back to fucking Jekyll and Hare, I guess. My name is Michael. Today we're playing Symphony of Sorrow, our 5th edition Curse of Strahd game. Taylor, that was not an invitation.
I was trying to figure out what the song was, and it's
Yeah, I know. I forgot what that song was anyway. Hooray, we're here. I'm not good at introducing these things. Why am I doing this?
It's
running
Monday,
the
everybody.
Thank you.
It's Monday. That means it's time for D&D. And we're not doing on Gilded Tides because if you haven't noticed, we are doing Curse of Strahd. That's right, we're doing Curse of Strahd on Monday, and Michael is our GM, and that's when I hand it over to Michael.
Okay, I'm Michael. I'm your GM. It's just Symphony of Sorrow, Curse of Strahd. Game. Disclaimer for everybody who's hanging out here. Curse of Strahd is a very dark game. It's Gothic horror campaign. Not to say that I have not edited certain things, but there are still potential for topics to come up that are less than savory. So I will be giving warnings where warnings are due as early and often as I can. But we are making extensive use of safety tools so that everybody do an okay time having a D&D. Great, yeah, and we will leave this as kind of an open forum for discussion should we get to those moments, or we might take a break and, you know, hell, we might end early depending on how awful things get. But it should be fine, I think, at least for now. So, fucking without getting too deep into it, why don't you all tell me what the hell happened last time? This is session 2. What happened last time?
It was a dark and dreary night. Okay, I set it up for you guys. You can.
What a horrible
Perfect.
night to have a curse.
What a horrible night to have
What
a
a
curse.
horrible-
what is man but a miserable pile of
I
secrets.
thought you were gonna say, what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
I think that's pretty close.
No, basically what happened...
Can we just say that was it?
No, we had a bunch of pocket scenes that basically introduced our characters. I won't speak for everyone else's characters, but Luke's character essentially had a bunch of clerical duties that he did, and then he did a visit to some places, and that at the end of that, it was interrupted by his brother, who he had not, or step brother, that he hadn't seen in a very long time. Jesse, you can finish it.
Rylie got to tell Luke something bad happened. It was sad. Specifically, your dad's dead. My dad's dead. I mean, my stepdad is dead. Your dad is dead. And we have to go to the funeral because Mom's mad because she saw a piece of paper and she thought, she got angry thoughts and said you had to come at once. So we got to go on a carriage, and then
Everything went to shit.
everything went to shit.
So, like, okay, so my character was introduced. His name's Mordecai. He's a city watchman in Daggerford. Fancy dancy caravan merchants came in, and Mordecai was too busy being like, haha, pretty colors. Wow, everything around here sure is fucking dull, and was very entranced with all these, and remembered when he was on one such caravan wagon thing. and then his boss got mad at him because the lady of the town got mad at him, and so his boss had a dumb conversation with him, and Mordecai just nodded and said, okay, I'll go tell them to leave. So then Mordecai goes to tell them to leave, and shit hits the fan.
And then our fourth character.
Yeah.
Our fourth character was there already, so like...
She'd been there. Kacia's scene opened up with people writing into the settlement that they're out, yelling about how one of their daughters has gone missing, and how the person that was supposed to be watching her is nowhere to be found. They asked for general help to start a search party, and Kacia was one of the people who directly came up to volunteer. They were like, she could have went over here, you know, child wandering towards the falls, because, ooh, pretty. Along the way, poor baby puppy wolf was caught in a bear trap. I tried to help. I considered it. Snapped at me, and then I was surrounded by wolves. So I'm like, I'm gonna fucking go. And then I was chased down until my horse was killed, and I had to go on foot up to a mansion, and then I blacked out.
And then you all woke up. You all found yourselves in this horrible place.
To have a curse.
To have a curse. What a horrible place to have a curse. Introduce yourselves to each other. Were beset by those wolves. Handled them remarkably without most of your equipment. Whoops. And then decided, hey, we need to get to shelter. The nearest village is not that far, maybe a couple of miles. We can make it there before too long. Oh no.
That sounded like an alarm.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it's either a fire alarm or a fucking microwave.
But anyway, we will, assuming everything's okay with Taylor, we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. Everybody, I'll be nice and give you all a point of inspiration for our recap.
Awesome.
We got to make sure that economy moves, though.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we
I'll
begin.
make sure I keep track of my inspiration, because now I have two.
Dude, I like spend them so fast.
I make sure to keep.
I spent them fast with B. Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm stalling slightly to make sure that Taylor is alive. There he is. Okay. Or is he going to sit down? We'll see. It doesn't matter. We see a forest road early in the morning. The rising sun shines through the boughs, causing a twinkling light to reflect from the morning dew. We see two young men walking down this path, practically arm in arm. They are laden with supplies for a journey, one that is meant to be quite important, as far as the taller man claims. Though, despite the supposed seriousness, there can't help but be an air of levity, as the two practically float down the road together. After all, it's the first time they've been truly free to explore together without some air of secrecy about it. And the taller man's jacket certainly wasn't helping, with its bright blues and yellows and the images of fresh sunflowers stitched into the collars and sleeves. It couldn't help but bring an air of fresh starts and spring air. It had been some time since the pair traveled when they came across a slightly odd sight. A scarecrow in the middle of the forest. Not altogether uncommon. Plenty of small homes and gardens can be found neglected in the forests of the world. Their silent guardians left lording over fields without vegetables and gardens without flowers. This scarecrow was a particularly sad sight. Having come undone from its bindings, it was a sad, slumped-over thing. The taller man couldn't help but give a mock frown at the poor thing, crows perching on the wooden stake, utterly unafraid. The man's sad eyes turned to his companion before breaking into a brief chuckle as he trotted over to set the poor thing right. The crows remained unaffected even by a living, breathing human as he moved to lift the sackcloth torso upright. The crows cawed, annoyed to be shaken from their perch, and as they cawed, they seemed to turn, staring at the man's companion as their caws grew more and more insistent. The last caw echoes as we find ourselves in an entirely different place. A muddy road on a foggy day, the fields slick with damp. We see a decrepit old scarecrow standing in a field of rotting root vegetables, sagging from the cold mist soaking its cloth. Luke, you return to reality, shaking off another memory of that day, as your new companions finish preparing to continue down the road toward the village.
As long as that scarecrow is surrounded by some form of vegetation, whether or not it is rotting, he'll kind of just shake his head and take a half step back before realizing that everyone else has kind of wandered on a little bit, and he'll kind of quickly make strides to catch up.
Excuse me.
Everybody, it's been maybe an let's say a half hour since the kind of conflict with the wolves on the road. Are you talking about anything as you make your way toward the village? Considering you've all just met for the most part, it's a bit of an odd situation you find yourselves in, especially having gone through a combat and realizing now that very little of what you had packed made it with you. Even Kacia, some of the things on your person vanished when you woke.
I was stolen. Thefted, one might say. She's gonna look more... Oh, I just slipped. My knee went down. Curse for me.
Oh, no.
Curse me for sitting gay. She's gonna look more and more anxious the closer she gets to the village. And she's not necessarily trying to hide it, but she's repeatedly tried to, like, fix her clothes, even if nothing wrong than just a stain she can't currently wash out.
Curse this stain.
I feel like when Luke catches up, he's probably desperate to try to, like, make it seem like he wasn't gone or dazing or anything like that, and he sees you messing with your clothes. And Luke will kind of go over and be like, do you have a tear that needs mending? I can help with that sort of thing.
Oh, you don't have to waste your time. My clothes are okay.
Alright, well, just figured I'd ask, because you look a little, tense with us going towards the village. Is there something wrong with the village? I mean, you're a local, so I figured you'd probably know if there's something up with it.
I'm not necessarily wanted.
Not wanted. His brows kind of furrow instantly as this happens, as you say this. Why is that?
Existing. That's why me and my, the people that have allowed me to stay have sticking to the outskirts.
He kind of, like, rubs his chin a little bit and kind of looks over towards Rylie. Would you, just to help our new friend here, maybe the shadow, I don't know why it's so dark underneath your hat, that might help her from having any sort of unwanted confrontations?
Can I do that? Can I?
You just give her the hat? Yeah.
Witch's hat.
I guess.
He turns into a full witch. Oh my god.
You just change classes immediately.
Changes classes. It's over with.
Riley will just kind of shrug.
If you do offer the hat,
Riley will shrug and take off the giant wizard's hat. Not wizard's hat, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. The funny pointy.
The funny pointy hat that is iconic and shit. And hand it over.
The funny wizard hat.
Hand it over to Kacia, probably revealing that he has two teeth horns. Two teeth horns, but one broke.
Imagine like when Luke
I
sees.
mean, it makes sense to fit in the hat.
One broke. One horn broke. Other one, is.
What happened to? As Luke points to the one that was truncated.
Took a tumble.
Aren't they stronger than that?
A very, very long tumble.
He kind of like eyes narrow ever so slightly, and we'll just be like, well, I mean, it doesn't seem like anything else got hurt, at least.
We cut to Rylie bouncing down the stairs of the highest tower.
just to see what it's like.
Just to feel something.
Yeah, just to feel something, anything, yes.
Oh, that's
That
creepy.
didn't pay off.
That's so weird.
Kasia will take the hat, and even her eyes under it still kind of glow.
No.
But it's not too abnormal.
You might blend in a little bit better, at least.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Do people know you here?
I hope not.
Well, hopefully.
For context, and sorry, for
okay.
context for Var, Kacia, no, you've never been to the village, to this particular village before. You've not been this far east before, just so you are aware.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe they will look at all of us as strangers. Because we are.
We definitely are. Hopefully we can just go get some supplies and... Oh, wait, I hope I still have money. Luke will actually check his pouch to see if he has any coin.
Yeah, if you had a belt pouch, you should still have coin.
Okay.
I only had one.
We have the same gold standard.
Okay,
There you
good.
Miraculously enough.
Luke breathes a sigh of relief and he'll say, okay, we'll just get some supplies and some things to defend ourselves, and Kacia, maybe we can reconvene with your group.
Yes, I don't want my things to go unguarded for a while.
Many treasures?
More or less. I mean, it's my home, and I wouldn't really want anything to be stolen.
Well, it's good to have things that might be stolen, just hopefully they don't get stolen.
That's sound logic all around. Just
Sound logic.
It's pretty good.
Looks like, hey, you got stuff at least.
We have nothing.
Yeah.
Riley's gonna take the front anyway, so he's gonna be walking like, like.
Love it.
Yeah.
You guys kind of continue on.
Oh my god, Taylor's
Oh
back!
my god, Mordecai's here.
Bless you for having to deal with a surprise fucking fire drill in freezing
It's a
weather.
fucking emotional support animal, and I don't know it's a drill, so I'm panicking and digging under my bed to find him.
Mm.
And they're like, haha, well, at least you made it. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I walked upstairs.
Bitch, I always used to pretend I was asleep through fire drills. Because what are they gonna fucking do?
I didn't know it was a drill, though.
I know.
With the spring one, you don't get a warning.
Ugh.
Suck my dick, Christian white girl fucking nursing major.
So suffice it to say, Mordecai's on edge.
Guys, I'm mad anyway.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Taylor.
I'm like sick at my stomach and livid. I'm sorry.
It's
And
okay.
no, you're fine. Take your time. It's gonna obviously, hey, it even works for the character as well. You just went through some shit already.
Yeah. All we
Doug
did
got
was
bit by a copperhead dog.
yeah. All we did
Yeah,
was give Kacia
whatever
a
you
hat.
heard, yeah, we did a little opening scene where Luke had a fun flashback to a not so great day. And then, Kacia has a hat now, just in case the villagers are xenophobic. But we haven't made it to the village yet. In fact, as you continue walking, you see tall shapes loom out of the dense fog surrounding everything. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence except for mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
Why is
I was
everybody
saying-
crying?
Maybe a great tragedy unfolded?
You can
There
hear...
needs to be a reason for
Their
tears.
whole existence here is quite the tragedy, is it not?
I
No
would,
offense.
I wouldn't.
my dear.
No, I haven't been here long enough.
Me either. I mean, just look at the place.
Maybe it's the overcast.
I like it.
It's just like this.
Well,
and
it's-
you can isolate. It seems to be one voice that you're hearing sobbing in the distance.
Mordecai is keeping a distance from everybody, but I would like to pop. Like, how far away is it? Like,
It is hard to say. These buildings are kind of tall and irregular. In fact, I will literally show you a diagram right now.
Funny little picture.
Yeah, these buildings are slightly tall and irregular,
Yes.
kind of causing almost like an alley effect where it is echoing. So it is kind of hard. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Roll me a survival check, Mordecai.
wait. Sorry, my hands are like warming up, so it's like the awkward, terrible warm stage.
Yeah, you can tell as you are kind of making your way. That's a different campaign. I literally in my Dragon Heist campaign right now. The next chapter is owning and operating a bar.
Oh.
So you're walking down this kind of main thoroughfare, and as you see, these buildings kind of looming in the distance, you can tell it's still kind of a ways away. To echo this much, it must be within some buildings. So you'd say maybe 100, 200 feet ahead of you.
Just
Okay. I'm gonna pop a quick protection from good and evil, or evil and good. Can I pop it on myself?
Yeah. How many targets?
One.
So yeah, you.
I'm going to choose. Oh God, I don't know. Aberrations, fiends, or undead.
Undead.
Oh no, it's all of them. Never mind. It's all of them. Against
So what is that,
until
like
the spell
resistance or
ends.
something?
Yeah, so I'm protected from aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against me. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. Yeah.
Okay. You say a quick prayer,
To
which is
fucking
probably
weirdos.
honestly what that looks like.
It's like the I don't know what order
The
it goes.
sign of the
Julian's
cross.
Yeah, I was just saying Julian's
Spectacles,
gonna kick
testicles,
my ass.
wallet, and watch.
Yeah,
It's okay.
But anyway,
while giving a side eye to everybody around them.
not quite trusting quite yet, but yeah, as you kind of make your way into the village proper, as you continue down the main road, these leaning buildings come clearer into view on either side of the street, most appearing completely boarded up or otherwise abandoned. You do see a few figures walking the street, though as they come into view, they kind of cautiously eye you all as you pass and make no real effort to welcome any of you. You even see a few people peeking out of windows and then quickly shuttering them as they see you all approach.
Every single person that looks at us, I'm going to look back at them for 1 second, maybe too long, to make them.
After the shutters have closed.
It's just these.
Well, there
little
are people on the
beady
streets
glowing
as well.
eyes.
Yeah, people on the
Yeah.
streets. Like it'd be like people are looking at our group, and like Riley's just gonna look back at them like without blinking, and maintain eye contact even after they pull away, just long enough to like either weird them out or just say don't mess with us, but like that's not
Yeah.
what he's intending to do. It's just like
You can like you do get a vibe from like it's very much like a townie vibe. They're just like they're simple folk who've fallen on hard times, tattered clothes. I think very dour is probably the mood that you get from a lot of these people. Judging by the light, even though it is overcast, it is foggy, you would say it's probably somewhere near dawn that you've entered this village, whatever dawn looks like here.
it's still dark.
It's it's horribly dark, but there is enough kind of light reflection through the fog that mechanically we're in dim light. But so you are still kind of able to see, and as you continue and as you stare sort of at these people, you still hear this mournful sobbing closer and closer until up ahead you can see its source in the form of a hunched woman shambling down the street toward you, clutching something tightly to her chest.
Is she undead?
Fucking, I don't have to tell you anything.
No. Hold on.
You want to burn another one of your funny
No,
abilities?
no,
have to
no.
do
I
it-
don't think I have to.
You would have to do detect good, evil, and good.
No.
Oh, you have your
no.
primordial something or
They're
other.
my
but I feel like
favorite. My
it's-
primeval awareness.
Tell
Oh no,
me,
that's
explain.
a spell slot. Just kidding.
That's okay.
You want to burn a spell slot? Because you can. Okay. This kind of like
Yes, I have one left.
this hunched figure of this
Sounds rough,
woman
buddy.
kind of shuffles toward you, and when I say toward you, I say maybe still 100 feet off or so.
In our general direction.
In your general direction, yes,
I
in the
agree,
middle of the
Mari. It's
road.
Laliano.
Can I roll a common sense?
I don't
I was
want
thinking
her around.
it's a witch from Left 4 Dead.
A common sense. What do you?
I would not like that.
Because like
Taylor.
I feel like Luke is just used to helping people.
Understood. Roll me an insight check.
I think Rylie would also
roll the insight check as Cassia's like, no way.
21.
Rylie would probably just stop in front of her if this is like a game of chicken and she ain't stopping, like Rylie would stop in front of her to kind of like go like this.
Yeah, she's still about 100 feet off, and she's kind of milling about for a moment, just kind of shambling back and forth. With an insight of 21, you don't know this place, you don't know who this is or what is going on. She appears to be human or humanoid. She doesn't appear to be undead, because as far as you know, undead don't cry.
I mean, unless
but-
you're the lonely
Jokes
or
on
whatever.
you.
Oh yeah, right. Well, those aren't undead; those are aberrations. But yeah, she's holding something close. Maybe she's in pain, or maybe she's just got something literally close to her chest that she's trying to keep safe.
All right, well,
Can I
he's
roll a
gonna.
perception check?
Perception check just generally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna go over there.
All right.
and I
You
don't-
ain't see
I don't
shit.
know.
I don't know. if
Cassia's gonna
Rylie-
throw out a quick, be careful.
I'll try.
Not stopping. Here I go.
Yes, Taylor.
So like, using my background thing, she's not a criminal, right?
How would you know if she's a criminal? You're not from this
Because
place.
that's my background.
Are you fucking
Explain
judging
what your
someone?
background thing
Oh.
says.
Your experience in enforcing the law and dealing with lawbreakers gives you a feel for local laws and criminals. You can easily find the local output post of the Watch or a similar organization, just as easily pick out the dens of criminal activity in a community, although you're more likely to be welcome in the former locations rather than the latter.
Okay.
It's
I
a
will give you-
stretch!
No, it's a
You're
stretch. It's a
profiling.
stretch, and I can't
It's
yeah, you are
profiling.
profiling. But it is a stretch. But the only thing you could think of is like, as far as criminal, it might be like vagrancy. This person appears to be homeless.
House insecure.
Yes, house insecure. So, Luke, you begin to kind of move your way forward, and as you kind of walk forward toward this figure, she stops after a moment, maybe 60 feet away, and she sniffles and kind of looks up to you, and she extends this filthy hand out in a gesture of like beckoning, almost pleading for you to approach.
Okay. He's gonna.
She shows you her razor head, baby.
I know, right?
Mordecai's gonna quickly step up and kind of gently grab Luke's
Like
cloak, like the back of his cloak.
He like. It's almost. He's just like, hold on. Do you need here?
Across the street, far away from
Mordecai just shakes his head at Luke.
What's wrong?
You don't know what kind of people are from here. They might.
Of course. And you can't find out what kind of people are here until you talk to them.
Hello. Are you dead?
He just turns back to Rylie.
He'll just let go.
Yeah, he she is still
just biting her knuckle from afar,
But-
just like, oh no.
Mordecai's keeping his distance from the lady, but he does look very concerned.
You probably should anyway, because if this is a battle, you want to be at least 5 feet away from her, so that way you can pop
I
your gun
know.
at her.
As you kind of approach, we'll say you get about 30 feet away from her at this point. She still has this like this almost not shriveled, but again, filthy, disgusting. It's cold out, and she's not wearing too much, just kind of rags and
Ooh. Tad nipply?
Tad nipply. She does not have shoes, but she's just still beckoning, and as you approach,
It's BW.
as you approach, you all hear a voice behind you. Best not, dear.
I thought.
Wait, so behind Luke and Rylie, or behind Mordecai?
Behind
and
all of
Kacia?
you. Behind, yeah, or off to the side, we'll say. We'll say split the distance between the two halves of your party. You just hear a voice, best not, dear.
Pauses and kind of half turns to look towards the person who called out.
You can all see this person. You see an older woman pushing a large cart along the cobbles, almost like a this is a shitty example, but like the people who push the ice cream carts through the park.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, it's like that, like helado, but that's kind of what the vibe is. It's wooden, obviously. But she kind of pulls up beside all of you, and she says, I just best not.
Is she sick? I mean, if there's an ailment, I might be able to help.
Sick may not be the right word.
She not human.
Oh, she's as human as the rest of us. But she kind of like, come over here. Let's not talk too loud.
Can I roll a quick insight check on this lady?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
In the carriage, there's a gun.
She pulls out an AK. No, she seems genuinely concerned about people going close to this woman. She seems, cheery is the wrong word, but she certainly seems more personable than anybody else you've seen here. You don't really know enough about this woman, maybe, to see, like, she doesn't have a knife behind her back, is what I'm saying.
I imagine Mordecai gets makes that quick judgment, and then will probably be the first
ocular
to step.
pat down.
Yeah, probably be the first to step towards her.
Mm-hmm.
I miss. What's your name?
Yeah, the woman is still kind of frozen, almost in that gesture, just kind of like looking and kind of tilting her head back and forth as she does so. But as you all kind of approach this woman, she says, "Apologies, I don't mean to intrude on whatever it is you're doing, but
No, we're not familiar.
That's her wailing in the background.
you're right. Yeah, by toilet.
Is she a hag or an undead?
Wouldn't go that far, dear. Just someone who's down on their luck.
Well, what would happen if we went with her?
She's not going to take you anywhere. The last person who came when she asked, got herself spit on and clawed at. She's just, how do I say this delicately? She's just a bit not all there, I'm afraid.
Well, do you think she would take a pair of shoes?
It's very kind of you. If I'm honest, I've tried many things, food and the like, but she doesn't take any of it. The locals have taken to calling her Mad Mary. And she's not homeless. She does have actually rather a nice home. She just never manages to stay in it. I'm Morgantha, by the way. Welcome to the village.
Hi, Mordecai.
Thank you, Lucas.
And
She will not.
yeah, she will kind of like look to all of you and just kind of say, and again, I don't mean to presume, but well, to use an old adage, you don't seem to be from around here.
I believe we ended up here approximately
Just arrived.
a few hours ago.
Ladies seem to have stumbled into our lovely Barovia.
You
The
poor
fog
dear.
brought us. The fog brought us.
As it brings us all. Well,
Were you brought by the fog?
no, dear, I've been here my whole life. We've seen others, though, you poor things. Well, don't be too hard on the locals. They're all a bit touchy before dawn. Well, as long as the fog still hangs heavy, they'll be much more accommodating when they realize that you aren't up to no good. It's still early yet.
Wonderful. 2 questions I have.
Of course.
One, when do the markets open? And 2, is there a worship for the Morning Lord here?
The Morning Lord, yes. Well, like I said, it's still a bit early. I'd imagine they'll be opening their shutters, well, within the hour. In fact, that's what I'm here for. She kind of like hefts the cart a little bit. Yes, dear.
What happens at night?
Oh, well, it's wild country. And I presume if she kind of like looks toward Kacia, you're a local. Well, then you know all about the castle, all about our ruler. He well, he's got handholds on all the beasts of the forest and all the, well, he likes to say so, but they sure do like to follow his beck and call.
Mordecai kind of perks up. He's like, what kind of beast?
Oh, all manner.
Like the wolves we've dealt
Stunning.
with.
Is there any particular one that's ailing you all?
All sorts, wolves, bears, werewolves as well, the
Lions?
undead, lions. No, I don't. Perhaps up in the mountains, but I haven't seen any this far down into the valley.
Well, that's a blessing in and of itself.
This feels more
well-
like bear country.
Bears,
Aye.
wolves, run of the mill.
No
No
tigers.
tigers.
They say both at the same time.
Fucking hell.
Well, ma'am, hopefully during our tenure here, I'll be able to dispatch a few for you. Give you a little bit of peace of mind, maybe.
Adventurers, are you?
Oh, I'm just a hunter.
And the rest of you?
Yes, actually.
Well,
I read books.
a scholar. We could always use more of those around here.
I love this woman. Mordecai's gonna do
I'm
a
doing
quick.
my best, Mrs. Doubtfire. But it's getting a little bit too just generally English. Hello.
Mordecai's gonna do like a quick like inventory of what the lady has. Is she wearing like gloves, shoes? Do they look particularly worn out?
She's older. She's probably in her 70s. She looks like, but she's a hardy village woman. She's wearing worn clothes that seem to suit her. She's bundled up for the for the cold. She's
Her
fine.
Her shoes or gloves don't have holes in them or anything.
Not that aren't intentional.
Okay.
Like she's got fingerless gloves,
Yeah.
or those kinds of like those kind of Gandalf things that he wears where it's like the thumb, but then like it's like he cut a mitten in half.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. But she seems like she's just kind of pushing her cart along, and then she ran into all of you.
Well, if you're actually going to the place of worship, do you mind if I walk with you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to answer your question. I'm not, dear. I'm making my way for the town square. Someone's got to sell these pies. Well, and among other things, but the Morning Lord does have a small
Pies.
church up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Father Donovich, lovely man.
Mm-hmm.
He should be opening his doors not too long from now, but I mean, forgive me, but you all look rather the worse for wear.
Yes, can I actually get 5 pies?
Tell you what, dearie, I've not quite set all the fixings right, but you can come find me in the town square. We'll get you all set. And of course, first one's free.
Wonderful.
Now, I'd recommend if you need to get out to the cold and maybe find a place to rest, well, there's the Blood of the Vine. The local tavern, that is.
Not the fruit of the vine, the blood of the vine.
Not me. I ain't staying there.
Yeah, the local tavern. She says, oh, and don't worry, they take all kinds. She looks at Kacia. But she will also say, that's also where you find Bildrath's, the mercantile. I see you're traveling a bit light. I take it you didn't exactly plan to come here.
The fog took everything.
Literally.
I was knocked out and stolen from.
As is the story with most, I'm afraid. But never you mind. We'll get you all set to rights. Bildrath can be a bit of a sticky one, but if you can't find yourselves dealing with him, Donovich might be able to help you, or there's always the Burgomaster.
Burgomaster?
It's an old title. No one knows what language it comes from, but the mayor, you might be more familiar with.
Hi.
Burger.
And
Burgomaster. The master of the burg.
Burger.
where is he located?
Oh, the Burgomaster's mansion. You cannot miss it. Keep following along this road, and before you continue on to the town square, you turn southwards. But again, it's a bit early yet. I don't know if he'll be taking visitors. I'm not from round here either. Sorry to give you the impression. I run my shop, or rather my bakery, up at the old windmill, by Valaki. Make the trip every morning.
Is she about to realize that she's stuck here too? Or is that...
Oh, she knows.
She said
Okay.
she lives here. She's been born here.
She's been here her whole life.
Her whole life. She said that.
She's saying that her bakery is located in the old windmill up by Valaki.
Okay.
Which sounds to be like a town.
Another
name.
town. Okay. That I was wondering if that was a town outside of the bubble.
No, not outside the bubble.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But yeah, make the trip every morning.
My goodness.
That's a lot of walking. Is it?
Oh, it does good for me old bones. Get out there in the brisk cold. Surprisingly enough, even if I do get set on by any ne'er-do-wells, you just hand them a pie and they seem to forget. But I mean, people are so in need of home-cooked comforts these days.
Well, you're doing quite the service then.
And between you and me, they don't mind if you put in a little something extra. Big wink.
Luke blinks innocently at that.
I don't know what that means.
Some of the folks around here have trouble getting through the day. My pies help to take the edge off, if you know what I mean.
Oh, right.
Just a little bit of sunshine.
You have to do what you have to do.
He blinks at that, but he doesn't argue.
Well then, we'll wait till you're set up and I suppose wait for everything else to open.
Of course, like I said, Blood of the Vine, Bildrath's Mercantile should be open this early, and well, I'll let you explore. Just word to the wise: don't go poking round in any houses that don't belong to you.
No.
Not for the inhabitants' sake. I'm sure that well, the Barovians will be nice and lovely to see some new additions, but some of these houses are boarded up for a reason.
Attacks or foreclosed?
To keep the residents inside.
Not to keep the residents inside, but, well, attacks, yes. Every night, packs of wolves and the like. But as long as you stay indoors, you're fine. No, it's... Well, I don't know how familiar you are with undead, but it tends to
Very.
spread like a plague. Best to keep those affected quarantined.
Do you need them dealt with?
Oh, more every day, dearie. It's best to just let the doors stay shut. It's not like anybody else is moving in.
Yeah. Just, it's my specialty. So.
Of course, yes, and you'll get plenty of work here, I promise you. That's what the Burgomaster's for. He'll tell you everything you need to know.
He'll nod and then say, "Thank you. You're quite generous to complete strangers." hard to find.
When you've been around as long as I have and survived this place, you learn that you've got to trust those that are willing to speak to you, at least enough to keep them away from, well, dangers. And she kind of jerks her head over to Mad Mary down the street, who is still looking at you wide-eyed with this kind of hand. Please come here.
Luke kind of frowns at that a little bit.
Mordecai does too.
Right.
She notices the frown and she just kind of shrugs a little bit, like, you know, it's that kind of shrug of like, I fucking wish there was something that could be done.
Don't challenge him. He'll
There you
try
go.
to find a way.
But she'll say, "But I've taken up enough of your time. You should go get that looked at." She just points at any one of you and the blood anywhere on your body.
Oh yeah, I'm still at 7 hit points.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
looking rough.
And she will hoist the cart and start pushing it down the road, the little bell jingling all the way.
I don't trust her in the slightest. Not one bit.
I think I got a pretty good read on her, and I think she's trustworthy, but you
She
judge
may
by
be, but-
actions, not words.
She may be, but you shouldn't let any kind face fool you.
Oh, trust me, ma'am, I'm aware.
Where are we coming from?
You make your way deeper into the village. We are at this intersection right here on the far west. She heads off toward the east. Mary is up slightly toward the north.
Can we make a marker where Mary is?
Yes, I will make a
Because
marker
I have a plan for that, but that
there you go. There's the marker.
that involved food, so I can't do that yet.
I
It's
see.
like
I
a
see.
side quest.
Yeah.
Well,
I want my spell slots back so I can do calm emotions on her.
There you go. But yeah, as you kind of make your way through the streets, if you head east, you will hit the divide that goes directly into the town square. That southern road is what she said leads to the Burgomaster's mansion.
Right.
But the town square is where all of the remaining businesses exist. So where do we want to go? You can discuss in character or out. I caren't.
You said that the mercantile was open around now.
Mercantile
right?
should be open and the tavern will be open.
Okay.
You're all free to do whatever you desire. I would like to take a bit of a rest, personally, and lick my wounds.
I do as well, and I was actually going to go to one of the temples. And they should be able to provide somewhere for us to sleep.
I mean, that's fair. But I think I'm going to stay at the tavern.
If you want to spend money, sure. I just figured it would help.
I'll sleep outside.
Probably safer to do that during the day.
I'll sleep during the day then. And he'll kind of shrug. I'll just see how much it costs. Maybe if I do some work.
Which one comes first, though? The inn or the church?
He's
Or
gonna
just
go
to
to
the
the
north.
inn.
Where's the inn in comparison to the church?
In church.
Eh,
So
not
it's
too
literally right next
bad.
to us, so we can just go in and see what's up, and then we can go to the church.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. You head to the east.
I hope you like my burger.
I saw it. It's a lovely burger.
Oh, it's
Burgermeister,
lovely.
Meister.
Burger.
Burger King. Ah.
It's the Burger King there.
Yeah, as you make your way deeper into the village itself, the village which you haven't gotten a name for yet.
Oh yeah, that is a thing.
I guess villages do have names, don't they?
Typically. You make your way into the square where you see, again, some more people kind of just milling about. In fact, a small crowd begins to swarm Morgantha as she has kind of made her way to the middle of the square. And you can hear her like, one at a time, we'll be open in just a moment. You know, she's, you know, given the protestations, like, give me a fucking minute, let me set up shop, and then you can come back. But like everybody is already kind of descended.
She's gonna be sold out by time we're fucking.
I mean, based on the size of that cart, maybe not.
Okay.
Girl
yeah,
made so many pies.
You can see up to the north, you know, just to the northeast, you see this large building, and then to the southeast, you see what appears to be a shop of some kind. But we want to hit the tavern first, or the shop?
Tavern, so then I can know how much money I can maybe spend. Like I have that much.
It's a small town square either way. As you kind of make your way to the large building, you see a single shaft of light from like the round window in the front of the tavern shines onto the main square. It almost looks like a pillar because it's still so fucking foggy. Above the massive doorway, you see a precarious sign hanging askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
Oh, not of the vine. He won't really hesitate, and he'll head in.
Okay. As you all kind of make your way into the tavern, roll me a perception check.
There shouldn't be any like craziness happening. It's the morning.
Yeah.
9.
15.
15. 14 and so yeah, so of course, because Mordecai is moving in quicker and first. The rest of you can kind of notice this as maybe you take a look at this large low-hanging sign. Like, you kind of have to duck to get under the sign. You can see that it is the Blood of the Vine Tavern, but somebody has probably with a knife scraped an N over the F. Some form of vandalism, or well, I mean, it's vandalism, but it's probably just deep depression. But as you make your way inside, you see a very modest little tavern. It's pretty shoddy, but it looks like it was once relatively nice. There is a blazing fire in the building. No, in the fireplace.
It's like, oh.
No, it's great. It's actually quite warm inside. There are a few kind of folks scattered about, just some commoners who are drinking what appears to be wine, mostly at separate tables, but a few people kind of huddle together within. And as you enter, there is a table kind of positioned near the front door that you have to walk past that has 3 women sitting at it, kind of with interesting dress. More
Fates, the 3 fates.
there you go. No, it's the Greek chorus. The kind of more colorful clothing than the rest of the people that you've seen around here, but they look just about as miserable as everybody else. You see a short, pudgy man tending bar, and that's kind of about it. What are we doing? Who are we talking to?
Mordecai will walk up to the bartender and just kind of say, you got any rooms?
No rooms.
No rooms turns right around.
He's kind of methodically polishing a glass as he says this. He doesn't even look up.
Hi. You got any rooms for someone willing to do some work?
No rooms.
Mordecai will just kind of nod quizzically and kind of turn to go.
Drinks?
No, thank you, sir.
Wine is 1 copper. Pitcher is 1 silver.
Is he dead?
No.
It's a depression.
Can I roll an
He-
insight?
It's depression.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is he-
you can roll an insight.
Is
Yeah.
he just depressed?
Come on.
It's too
No.
bright.
20.
Great.
20. Yeah, you look at him. You don't get the sense. Oh.
There we
I try. It's not.
Just take a picture and
I'll
post it in the
take a
chat.
picture.
Yeah. With a 20 insight, yeah, he I mean, maybe he's depressed, but you see like this glazed over look in his eyes. He's not drunk. He's not like under the influence of anything. He's just kind of like not there.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is.
You said
what that
there's 3
means.
ladies.
Yeah, 3 ladies just kind of chilling near the front, who kind of eye you all quizzically as you walk in, but they go back to the small betting game that they're doing.
Hover, hover, hover.
Hover, hover, hover. We go hover.
Well,
yeah.
Riley's gonna hover like a weird shadow that's just kind of like looming over.
Kacia wants to go make friends.
They will
As
kind of
in
look up to. Actually,
Dalton.
Kacia, roll me an insight check. It's not going to be a very difficult one.
Well, you say that, and then I'm gonna fail.
These women are Vistani, of the same kind of culture. The people who took you in, who run the camp that you all live in. But obviously you haven't been to this part of the valley. You don't know who these people are. But as Rylie kind of
seeing that, Kacia will come up like by Rylie and say in Vistani good morning to them.
Yeah, you it's a good thing that you caught that, because like one of them they're trying to ignore Rylie for a little bit, just kind of popping down coins and
You got games on your
picking
phone?
a card. You got games on your phone. And then like Rylie gets a little bit closer, and one of them like gets that thing where like she's about to stand up or say something, and then you kind of come in and say good morning, and she looks a little quizzical, a little surprised, and she looks up, and in Vistani she says good morning back to you, and she says, sorry, who's your friend?
A strange child that was taken by the fog.
He's not a child. He's 26.
Oh, everybody's a child to Kacia,
That's true. Yeah.
who's 9 feet tall without her heels. But
She wishes.
she will just kind of look up to you and see you, like, and know that you're a dusk elf, and just kind of say, well, we've got no rooms left. You can sit for drinks, of course, but make sure to pay up your tab.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't try to walk out without paying.
I only have like 1 silver piece on my pocket, so this is funny. It's just funny. He's like, I don't. Who's buying what? Not me.
You can get a whole pitcher of wine with the silver piece.
That's a waste of money.
Some people. But she'll just kind of like look up to you expectantly, like, is there anything else? Is the kind of vibe you're getting from her?
We haven't been around these parts before. What is the general feeling that we get here?
For people like me.
She will kind of look up at you, and she'll say, well, for starters, people just call this village Barovia. No one's given it a name anyway. They just name it for the place. I'm Maribel. This is Alenka Sorvia. They'll just kind of like nod to you. And they say, we own the place. That's what we're here for, just making sure people pay their tabs. You can sit by the fire all you want, but you got to drink something. I don't know if you want information. You what are you? Hunters?
We're unfortunates that have been separated from our origins. They've been taken and I've been knocked out and rather lost.
Well, you got any business you might want to take it up with the Burgomaster?
Burger.
We're debating on going there.
She kind of like listens to you, and then one of the other women kind of like smirks a little bit. She says, "Yeah, or you could talk to his boy." And she like leans out around you and like gestures with her head to a table in the corner.
It's Aragorn.
It kind of is the unfortunately.
Wait, is he in the Conca? Is that why?
Aragorn. Sorry.
Oh yeah, most of these people are in the Conca by now. But she says, Ismark, the Lesser.
Why is he lesser?
Just what everyone calls him. You might want to ask him about it.
Okay.
She kind of she's got like this shitty look on her face when she says that, but she'll kind of lean back and go back to her game with the other two. But you will see kind of over in the corner somebody who appears to be from the area but looks a little bit different. Doesn't look quite so down as everybody else, maybe because he's kind of wound up.
He's got a jaw like no other, though.
Yeah, you see this man sitting in the corner, quietly sipping wine. The one tell, his knee is bouncing like no fucking other. What do you guys want to do?
It seems like we can't get a place to stay here, but we definitely have the church as an option. We don't have any, like, weapons or anything like that, so, like, we can't really, like, say, hey, we're good adventurers and we can do your job when we're completely dirty and naked, essentially.
I have my bow.
I mean, I'm a cleric. I don't know how far that goes here. I was actually going to say that once we heard that there were no rooms, I was going to go out to the market and I was going to go buy those meat pies.
Sure. Yeah. We can do that, actually. So yeah, you hear that there are no rooms. We will have you. We'll cut to Ismark in a moment. Mm-hmm. As Luke, you kind of make your way out to the market square, and yeah, you can see Morgantha. Has kind of got like a barrier of people. Like there's an invisible barrier keeping these people back, but they're looking like dogs at the starting line. They're just kind of waiting. They're jonesing a little bit. But you see her, taking her time casually, kind of setting up her stall, and as she puts like this, hefts this big sign up and slots it into place, you see what it says, and in a very fancy script, it says "Dream Pastries." And then she kind of slides the top off, and immediately as you kind of approach, you are hit with this amazing scent, like fresh baked pie. Mm-hmm. You get the sense there's a lot of different kinds, like meat pies and actual, like, honest to God fruit pies. Like, where the fuck is fruit growing here? Mm-hmm. Wherever Morgantha found it, I guess. Sure. Probably root vegetable stuff. Like there's probably like a potato pie as well, stuff like that. But like pies of all sorts, but they are all labeled as like these little pita pocket looking dream pastries. And she will kind of look up to you as she sees you, and she says, "Oh, hello, dear. How did it go in the tavern?"
"Oh, apparently there's no rooms."
"Oh, it's a shame. It must be for other passers-by. I'm a bit surprised, or perhaps they just, haven't turned them down yet. Is that the phrase? Turned down?"
I believe
for what?
So.
Oh my god, is it 2014 again?
Yes.
That's the real trick with Barovia. It's set 6-7 years in the past.
No.
Before all the bad times.
Yeah.
He kind of nods. He's like, oh, well, I'm sure that eventually there'll be some sort of space available. If not, I'll try to talk to those at the church to see if maybe there'll be an ounce of floor space to kind of sit upon.
It's a shame, dear. I'm sorry about that. But shop's open. Not for you. And she kind of like points to everybody else. And she's a little bit commanding with that. They're a little less awe and more like they're kind of pissed at you, Luke.
Sweat drops at that. And he'll kind of go over, if she'll let him, he'll kind of like step like towards the side. He's like, well, I'd be willing to buy when they're all done at the tavern. I think they're talking to a couple people. Do you mind if I actually help you? That way you get more sales faster.
It's your heart. I was going to let you have first pick, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty for everyone.
That's fine. Just tell me why you call it dream pies. Is it because of the special stuff you put in it?
Yes. Now, you seem to be a man of the cloth, yes?
I am.
Do you study herbology at all?
Have I been taught herbology at all in my...
Do you have proficiency in an herbalism kit?
Oh, hold on. I need to put a cat down. No, I'm trained.
Then roll me a nature check.
I was gonna say, I'm trained to fight things. That's a 9.
So what do you say? What's your knowledge?
I would have to say that of all of the topics that I've been taught, I don't think herbology is one of the ones that have perhaps stuck with me the most.
Oh, that's fine, dearie. Well, what would you call it? I don't know what to call it other than the word. Psilocybin.
I mean, based on my nature check, I doubt I have zero clue what
You're
that
probably
means.
not. It's the forests around here are rather lush. And sometimes you find,
funny
fungus.
Funny fungus.
Oh,
Mushrooms.
Zion,
fun
where
guy.
are you?
I fucking
Where
know
is he?
this because I did a history of drugs.
But she will straight up say, certain mushrooms, when ingested, they give you a bit of a dream-like state.
Right. Does it actually put you to sleep, or?
Oh, no, dearie. It just makes you feel like you're experiencing wonderful dreams. Some folks frown upon it, but, well, if I'm honest, it looks like these people, they might need it a bit more.
That's why the fucking lines across the block.
Because they want that hit of serotonin. Yeah. So I imagine like Luke is like talking to her while he's helping her sell stuff or whatever.
Yeah, she will absolutely let you help her.
Yeah.
As she's got kind of like a makeshift till.
You're
going.
helping dealing in drugs.
It's, you know what, it's fine.
Power to the people, dude. That
it's
shit
outreach.
is proven.
I'm
Outreach.
helping people. And then as he's kind of, he hands one off to an angry customer or whatever.
Not even angry, they're so thankful.
Oh, now they're thankful that I didn't take any to start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's selling them for a pretty fucking penny, a gold piece a piece.
Oh God,
Christ.
damn.
And a
No
lot of the
wonder
people that
she's
come
so
up,
well off.
a lot of the people that come up, you find a lot of your job to be counting coppers, like fistfuls of copper and silver.
Because it's like 100 copper for 1 silver.
Yeah.
It's 10 copper to silver, 10 silver a gold.
Okay.
Think of a gold as a dollar, but way better, and a copper as a penny.
Okay.
So you're counting 100 coppers per.
Yeah, it's a big fucking mess, but yeah, you could tell that like she would have her hands full.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
she usually does.
And so,
but yes, the crowd is growing ever bigger. Yeah, you are definitely helping.
Okay. I think like as he's kind of like going through everything, it's like, are there any of them that don't have the psilocybin in them?
Don't give away my secret, but no, there's...
He says it in a whisper.
She says, I experimented with portion in the mouth, but to be honest, the dream pastries were the only ones that ever sold.
Well, I can see why.
Oh, bless you. And also, it doesn't hurt that I'm quite a good baker myself, if I don't say so.
They do look very nice.
Bless you. Would you like to sample one? I mean, you're on the clock now, so I don't know if, well, I can let it slide.
Maybe when everyone else is done and we can make sure that we have somewhere where we can sit. I've never, had something like this before. I've puffed a couple pipes, but, well, nothing like this, so I probably would want to be sitting down.
I would say so. Change your life. You know, they say once you've gone through it, you never go back again.
He smiles and he nods at that. Yeah, he'll help her while everyone else is kind of talking to everybody else, and maybe I'll earn my keep of pies.
Yeah, you're going to be there for a bit, so I think you may have to miss out on this conversation.
Yeah, no, I'm totally okay with that.
Understood. Okay. The rest of you in the tavern, you are pointed toward a man called Ismark the Lesser, at least as far as you know. This kind of shoulder-length blonde hair, a chin like Lord Farquaad. Kind of, you know, he's got a farm boy aesthetic to him, but he very clearly is quite anxious. Are you guys approaching him? You're muted, Var. But I got the sentiment. Yes. As you guys, what's Mordecai feel about all this? What's he up to? Mordecai.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Someone sent me. My favorite league champion now has a statue. So I was temporarily blinded by the gold in my sights. Mordecai is kind of stumped because he really does not want to stay at the church.
Understood.
He does not speak whatever language they're speaking. So
it was only that first little
okay.
introduction, and then the rest was in common.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if anything, if you don't want to stay at the church, the burgomaster, or at least his son, might be the only other real option for you at this point. Especially considering you're, you know, intrinsically kind of linked to these other people you found yourself with, at least for the moment. But as you guys kind of approach Ismark's table, he will kind of raise his head and notice all of you and say, "Oh, hello there. Please, you are new in town, yes?"
Unfortunately, yes.
Is something wrong, dear? I noticed that you're fidgeting quite a lot.
Well, if you have not been around here, it is... please, have a seat. What am I doing? Please, pour yourself some wine. He has a pitcher, and if you would like to partake, you can feel free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you pour yourself some wine, it is passable. It's okay. It's not bad. He says, I didn't exactly spring for the Red Dragon or today, but, well, I suppose when I have something to celebrate, I will... Anyway, I apologize. My name is Ismark Kulyanovich.
The Lesser.
Yes.
Do you like being called the Lesser, or is that something that was
It's
thrust upon you?
It's clearly a title. Wouldn't mind you all to be so willing to be insensitive.
It's a name that is stuck, I'm afraid, but it is not one I am undeserving of. Welcome to Barovia, the village of Barovia. I am the son of the burgomaster, the former burgomaster, that is.
Burger.
What do you mean?
Burgo, my, my father, Kolyan Indirovich, sadly has passed. This name is familiar to you. This is the person who wrote the letter you found on the road.
Oh,
That's a
Oh,
tragedy. Would you mind showing what happened?
Um,
I'd
Well-
perfectly understand if you don't want to.
no,
It's
no, it is only
curiosity.
the question of where to begin.
We have time.
He will tell
it's like, ooh, ah.
an abridged version of the story that is, welcome to Barovia. Nobody leaves. We have a tyrant who is a vampire. He will straight up say it. The Count, Strahd von Zarovich, has ruled over this land for centuries upon centuries. Not kind to his people, as you might expect from one of his ilk. A few years ago, a few years ago, there was a man who made his way into Barovia. A man clad in black robes came to the village,
Dracula.
asking for able-bodied people to help him in his quest to take down the Devil Strahd.
Do you know what his name was?
We never asked. We were, to be honest, we were thankful. Perhaps our savior had come. My father supported the uprising and urged fellow villagers to do their part to help end this land's suffering. This man told my father that he was to remain in the village. The people would still need a leader, those who did not come along with him, but I volunteered in his stead, along with many of the others from the village. And we followed this wizard to the castle. We didn't even make it past the front gate. It was a slaughter. The wizard moved ahead, fought the devil, and by all accounts, he was killed, flung into the river. We never found the body. But all of my kinsmen and countrymen were taken out by his wolves, his spawn. I was the only survivor because I ran. I fled.
So that's why they call you the Lesser.
I was branded a coward.
You're not a coward.
Essie's gonna put a hand to her chest before reaching out to, like, rest a hand on his bicep.
You're not
Yes.
a coward.
Nothing wrong about running away to fight another day, dear.
It was not about fighting. I never wanted to hold a sword. Again, I was only concerned with my father and my sister.
Your sister. Did she
Irina.
pass as well?
No, she's safe, thank the gods. Well, safe perhaps is not the right word. She lives. Ever since the uprising, a few years ago, almost nightly, the devil's beasts raid the village, keep us in our homes. Plague spreads, turning people into undead abominations. It serves us right, I suppose. But recently, in the last several months, the beasts have begun attacking my father's home, trying to bust down the doors. I imagine to take revenge against the man. And one day,
Your
the
father
devil
got bit.
himself- Yes, how did you know?
We found this letter.
So Dalvan did not make it either.
No, we found it on a
Wolves.
quite decayed body.
He was cut down.
Nothing escapes his wolves. But yes, the devil himself came to lead the
We
charge.
did.
The wolves trapped us here. We only escaped them because he wanted us to, I'm assuming.
We killed them. There were 4 small ones and 2
And 2
big
big
ones.
We did
Forgive
best
them,
them.
they're foreigners and have not witnessed the full extent of a pack of wolves.
You
I
have
wouldn't be so
taken-
brash.
You have taken some of these beasts to task. That is good. You have what it takes perhaps to survive in this place, more so than the rest of us, but
Have you had any slayers come through past the wizard a few years ago?
no. There have been many in the centuries past, I would imagine. But that was the last great attempt. And that is what kills this village and all its people.
Well,
Go ahead.
hopefully in our tenure here we can maybe ease a bit of what's ailing you all. I'm a bit of a hunter as my trade. I've been trained to hunt undead particularly, but I'm quite keen on hunting other things.
Monster
People-
hunter.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a monster hunter.
You can learn.
But to survive the devil's wolves, you must have some skill, all of you. And I'd imagine your friend outside.
You all look out the window, and Luke is
And-
just helping, selling meat pies.
Money is flying everywhere. We're trying to stuff the money into the till. It won't
I'm-
close, damn it.
I'm not familiar with. We kind of all came together except Rylie and the one outside, but I'm quite certain most of us have an interest in aiding and learning about this place.
Especially
People have
how
to
to
help
get out.
people. Well, I mean that too, but in the
No
process,
leaving.
we can.
You keep saying that. I think we should be able to. If we got in, we should get out.
It is not that simple. The devil Strahd, he is the land. He is Barovia. He controls the
have to-
mists
Kill him if you ever dare to leave.
or gain his blessing.
Which is even less likely.
Sounds quite moody.
That's a word for it.
Well,
If I may be so bold, you obviously have arrived recently. There are no rooms in the tavern. Do you have a place to stay?
the only option we could think of was the church, maybe, but I'm not.
That's because my
I
brother is
prefer
a cleric.
Not to.
Yes, we do have a cleric of the morning, Lord.
Of some god.
He'll be sure to tell you all about it.
He doesn't like preaching that much.
No,
Are
but
you offering a place to stay?
Well, in the days since my father has passed, the beasts still come for our door. I don't know why. We have done nothing against Strahd. I worry for my sister.
Worry that she'll meet a similar fate?
I don't know.
you would
it
like us to go
seems-
check on her.
It is worse than that, I fear. I have seen on many nights a figure outside, staring up at her window. I think it may be the devil himself. He seems fixated. I don't know why. It is not me, clearly. He is not here for me. They're never... I
It's
need to
okay,
get...
dear.
I need to get...
It's okay. We can offer you some protection and her if you allow us to stay and investigate. Maybe we can calm whatever curse has pointed their eyes at your sister.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, of course, you can come by the Burgomaster's mansion if you need to rest. I see you still are wounded from your travel. But please...
Both and say, I doubt we'll be able to do anything, but we'll do what we can. At least maybe a little bit of peace of mind.
It's a place to stay for the night. We don't necessarily need to keep our word.
I would prefer that we did. I don't like to make enemies in.
Everyone's out for something.
Huh?
Not, nobody says this. It's in Kacia's mind.
Oh, I was like, hello?
Very noble, this one. But how much is peace of mind worth in a dead world?
Right. She'll whisper to herself.
As you kind of make your way into the square, you will see... we'll kind of cut back to Luke momentarily as the crowd at last dies down. Unfortunately, some people turned away. Morgantha is very strict. Nothing comes for free.
Sure.
She has to make her living as well. But eventually, everybody kind of disperses just in time for you to see the others exit the tavern. And she says, "Oh, bless you for your help, dear. I would have been here another 3 hours, no doubt."
Well, it gives you more time to develop more delicious pie flavors.
Oh, darling. But here, your take. And she will begin sorting through coins.
You can keep the money. Just perhaps a sampling of the pie so I can give it to the others. I think everyone's very hungry from us getting, trapped here.
Yes, of course, dear.
Hungry.
She will kind of reach. She's like, take your pick. They're all dreamy. And you can go through and pick whatever kinds you like.
He's gonna pick a savory one for himself, a sweet one for Rylie, and then he stops when he's thinking about Mordecai and Kacia.
Perfect timing, because hey, you all see Luke cleared, just kind of like browsing Morgantha's wares, and you can all make your way up to him just in time.
Wow, convenient.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a errand to run.
Oh, do you?
We found a place to stay.
Oh,
On
did
the
you?
terms that we run an errand.
That's wonderful. I'm glad that I don't have to make both of you uncomfortable staying at the temple. I managed to help this one over here with selling some things, and she would like to offer as payment for some of her pies. So I wasn't sure what two flavors you two might have wanted. Rylie, look, I think this is like cherry.
Closest to, yes, wild berries, but they do give a nice tart zing at the end.
Right. They're dream pies. They,
I'll politely pass.
Well, that's fine. And he'll pick like a random one out in Kacia's stead. And he kind of like pauses as Rylie bites his immediately, and he's like, they're
Whole thing is if I could possibly unhinge my jaw and shove it all in, I probably would. I'm
Oh,
hungry.
God.
I'm gungy.
might be carrying him later. It's supposed to make you feel very good.
And
Big wink
kinda
to everybody.
turns to Mordecai.
Mordecai will go over and kind of inspect them on his own, and then pick out a savory pie for himself.
Sure, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, like meat and veg and all that, typical British nonsense. But she will say, well, again, thank you for your help. And she holds out a closed fist, and she places it on your hand and lets a bunch of coins go in it. She says, for the road.
Thank you, I appreciate it. We probably needed getting some sort of supplies.
We do if we're going to be running security at the Burgomasters.
Look at you all, proper adventurers already. Well, if you ever make your way out Valaki way, look me up at the old windmill. We can get you some hot out the oven.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. May the Morning Lord go with you.
Ah, yes, dear. And also with you?
And she will start breaking her cart down.
They actually don't say "and also with you"
And
anymore.
with your spirit.
Luke doesn't say anything. He just smiles and.
Luke, you get your hands on 7 gold pieces.
Sweet.
Cassio will make an off-comment remark to Rylie, saying, I thought you said he didn't preach. And she'll start walking off towards the shop, the supply shop, and be like, come on, we have to get some supplies before it turns dark eventually.
Oh, I didn't realize me saying goodbye was a form of preaching. You learn something new every day.
And then he kind of goes over to Rylie.
Are you all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't feel anything yet. Might come later.
We spoke with the Burger Man's son.
Oh, and what ended up happening there? I heard something about the security detail.
His father was the one who wrote the note.
Points to letter.
Oh.
His father was... They tried to rebel a few years ago and clearly failed, so the whole town is plagued constantly by monsters and blight.
As probably punishment for trying to stop the big bad man.
So are they the reason why this entire place is under lock and key?
Well, it's not their fault necessarily. It's his.
So he was the one that put it under lock and key, not the outside.
Yes.
Interesting.
So it seems.
Very interesting. Well, that's one more hurdle that we'll have to tackle later.
And we are going to check on his sister, who is up in the old burgomaster's castle, mansion. I don't know, it's all the same. But we're going to check on her because every night some strange shadow longingly looks up at her window. So...
Interesting.
Yes, quite. He believes it might be the devil himself, but could be any regular creeper.
Which particular devil? There's more than one.
I think he means
Strahd.
the big bad man.
I thought Strahd was a man, not a devil.
Strahd is a vampire. The devil himself.
Not a devil. Good thing that we got that cleared up.
Colloquially, devil.
He shrugs at that.
So you've got a few options. Obviously, whenever you go back to Ismark, he can take you back to his home. You got the shop.
Gonna go browse some wares.
Oh yeah, you got the shop, and you got the temple, the church.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to go? I mean, the shop is right here. Do we want to check that out and then go to the church?
Let's get some weaponry.
Let's get some shoes.
Yeah, whatever thing that I want to do, I want to be able to rest before we do that. So
Before you go to the church, you mean?
Well, I wanted to rest at the church, but if everyone else is uncomfortable going there, then I won't rest at the church then. I just have it as like a free means because of my background.
You do.
So it's basically free money. You don't owe anybody anything.
You guys can go to the church. Kacia won't, and she'll linger outside. She just has to stay in one place and meditate. She'll be fine.
That's right. Yeah, you're an elf anyway.
Mm.
So yeah, let's check out the shop. we'll swing by the church and then figure out our sleeping situation.
Mhm.
So yeah, you make your way into this kind of small shop that is right on the edge of the town square as well. Very sparsely lit from inside, as if by meager candlelight. But you see a hinged sign over the door that reads "Bildrath's Mercantile." And as you kind of make your way inside, you will see behind the counter this kind of older bearded man who looks he looks incredibly fucking angry. Just all that he's got resting bitch face. But he kind of calls out to all of you and he says, "Welcome to Bildrath's Mercantile. What can I get you today?"
I'm in need of a sword and perhaps some armor.
What do you think this is? Blacksmith? I see what I can find. He will kind of scrounge around, and you can look at the wares as well. It all appears to be mostly repurposed, we'll say, or maybe scavenged is a scavenged and slightly refurbished, we'll say. In fact, you do spy kind of a slightly rusty looking blade that still has a little bit of blood on the hilt from probably the previous owner he found it on.
Another men's
Fine
trash.
wares.
But basically, you can buy from him anything on the adventuring gear table, which is this guy right there.
I was gonna look it up myself.
Almost everything. The only stuff that he's got in stock is stuff that's worth 25 gold or less.
Oh no, are we doing resource management?
I mean, as far as money,
I've been
yes.
counting my arrows.
Okay.
So you can feel free to take a look, whatever you think you might need. He does not have health potions, but he does have acid.
Potions. Hunting trap.
We don't have enough gold for anything big.
I feel like I'm the only one that has gold out of
have
all
gold.
of us.
I have money.
Then you buy your own shit then.
I'm gonna buy 20 arrows.
Okay, how much is an arrow?
20 is 1 gold.
1 gold. Yeah. So you you can kind of like grab a wrapped bushel of arrows, basically, and he say, "It is 10 gold."
10?
Yes,
This is worth 1 gold.
10 gold.
Barter.
Look, I'd be willing to do some work for you if I could have these for 1 gold.
You take them for 10. You need them that much.
They're
He
going to
points
be
up at
used-
his sign. It says no haggling, no exception.
No hag.
Look, they're going to be used to help maybe protect your town from the monsters that plague you every night. I think it's in your best interest to give them to me at a lower cost.
Monsters do not plague me. I have my own protection. You need them? You pay for them. 10 gold.
What do you need 10 gold for?
Trading.
With who?
I'm sorry. Do you not read?
Oh no, I can read.
Blanket.
You want to give me a hard time?
You're giving me a hard time. Well, let's see.
You're gonna get thrown out of this fucking joint.
And he'll set them back down, eyes narrowed,
Look, you
and
know
then
how
hold his
money
hands
and
up.
You don't need arrows. You do just as well with sharpened stick. My fine wares worth what I sell them for.
Oh, he wants to shoot that sign so fucking bad.
Han, how much are your daggers?
Dagger go
I don't think he has daggers.
45 gold. Hunting knife, just as good.
Hunting knife.
45.
All right, I'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
How much is the value of the pies? Because I was selling them.
The value of the pie would be well, I mean, it's worth a gold. That's how much she sells them
A single
for.
gold. Okay. So I don't think that's gonna help me very much. Can I like roll like an insight on this guy to kind of like?
She said he was sticky. Like,
yeah.
She said we could go get the Burgermeister, or we could go get the priest.
Not to help with this guy. They might be helpful, is what Father Donovich is the guy's name. But you can roll me an insight on this dude if you'd like.
Sure.
Can I as well?
Whoever would like to.
16.
16. 6. You're just pissed. You're fuck this guy.
I'm irritated as hell.
16, 17. This is a guy who doesn't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. And he will charge the price because if you need it that bad, you'll pay for it. Mm-hmm. That is all. But he's very testy, you can tell. If you give him a hard time, he's going to give you a hard one back.
Sure.
Based on my last landlord.
God.
I guess at the very least, I guess like not to belabor the buying process because you can spend a whole session just doing this. I guess I'll ask how much is the sword with the blood on it, and how much is oil?
Oil. Okay. So as far as the sword, the bloody sword, you say, it is good sword, belonged to cousin of mine. It's 75 gold piece.
Oh, right. And the bottles of oil.
You sell per flask 5 gold.
Oh, well then. I'll take one of the oils for now, and I'll have to scrounge up more money for the sword.
All right. He will reach up behind him and grab a flask of oil. Roll me an investigation check. That's a great question.
I was about to ask if it was even full.
Yeah.
It's about half full.
13.
Half full, dirty bottle of oil.
Nice bottle of oil.
Mordecai will shake his head at you.
Can I?
This isn't good.
Can I? Is there any of them that are
What
filled?
isn't good? What, you have problem? Little devil man, have problem coming to my shop, talk about my oil?
They're not from around here. It's
not full.
troubling.
Life not full. Take what you get. 10 gold pieces.
Luke kind of takes a deep breath in and been like,
I'm sorry, sir. We're just gonna have to, save up a bit more money because we're new to town. But thank you so much for showing us your wares.
You come here to waste my time.
No, in fact, I'm here to give you lunch.
and he sets down one of the pies. Because I asked for 5. So
You did? Yeah, you got 5.
Because Kacia didn't want hers.
So you have 2 freebies.
Yeah.
But he will take a look at the pie and he will say, "What is this?"
It's one of the dream pies that's being sold in the market. Everyone's very fond of them.
Spit. He spits on it.
Then it's definitely yours now.
He will like. He will look at you and he say, "You take this off my counter."
No wonder the townspeople are so damn poor. Got people like you gouging the hell out of them.
You have problem?
Will...
Back it up with Barry Wimple.
Is that you?
No. This is Barry Wimple, and he will call out that loudly, and you hear like a.
Mordecai just stands there.
Through like the beaded curtain, you see a hulk of a man, much younger, who walks out. These like muscles straining against this shirt, who looks like he could fuck you up, and he just kind of stands there, like expectantly.
Free lunch.
And I'm gonna roll a persuasion check.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I'm done with this.
I would just like everyone to know I have a negative charisma modifier, so I'm
of course.
That's
what's
fine.
natural.
It's totally fine.
You're the tail of the group. I hope a 15 will do it because I really don't want to waste my inspiration yet.
With a 15, yeah, he Perry Wimple Periwimple, it's apparently this guy's name, will kind of look at you and then look down at the pie, and his eyes go wide, and he will just kind of like reach for it. Bildrath will grab what looks like a blackjack, like a wound like leather rod, and just smack the guy's hand, and just start shouting at him, and telling him to get to just stand there. You don't touch.
Mordecai will quickly grab the pie off of the counter and hold it up towards him.
You do hold it up.
Take it. You deserve to eat.
Periwimple looks very sad, and he just kind of like shrinks in on himself. He doesn't take the pie. He's kind of
Cassia's
rubbing
like,
his
are you
hand.
seeing this? The voice in her head.
Well, perhaps we can just leave it outside, Mordecai, for
The
someone-
dogs?
No, for someone to take later. I think that we've spent enough of their time, and we don't want to make things worse.
Yeah, are you guys leaving?
Luke is going to leave. I'm not.
You're right.
I'm not going to get into a fight with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm
Cassia's gonna continue to browse.
Yeah, as you continue to browse, Bildrath will just kind of be there with his arms crossed. Periwimple still looking sad, but just kind of keeping vigil until you all eventually leave. And as the door kind of closes and the bell dings, you just hear shouting inside, like he's reprimanding his brother.
Mm.
Here, can I have that back? Just for a moment.
And then Luke's going to try to set the pie on like the windowsill.
Yes,
Oh,
back towards the,
classic.
the
Yeah.
side of the room. The
Yeah.
room where,
Classic.
yes.
Yeah,
Love it.
so he can take it later.
Yeah, if you go around the side, roll me a perception check.
Can I help him?
Ooh,
Absolutely.
that's a 10.
Fuck.
It's
Which
easy enough. As you
one?
kind of go around the side of the building, you can see like kind of a small, slightly shuttered window that looks like a it looks like a child's bedroom, and this hulking man walks in there and shuts the door behind him, and then kind of quietly sits on what you assume is his bed. And you can see him through the window.
Luke kind of cracks a smile a little bit at Mordecai, and he goes, "Shh." And he kind of will go over and like and I can see through the window, right, through the shutters or whatever.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, easily.
Okay, he's gonna like crack open the shutter like ever so slightly, put the pie, and then knock, and then run, ding dong ditch.
Yeah. If you stay for just a moment, you see his big doe eyes kind of look up, and then like light up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you run away, and you can hear like the window open. Taylor, you can't kill the shopkeep this early.
No.
But
Coming for you, bastard.
But yeah, you made Periwimple's day. Bless his little heart. But yeah, how are we all gonna head to the church just to check it out, or is just Luke and maybe a couple other people going?
Mordecai will go over there and sit outside the church.
Okay.
I will go.
So
I think
yeah,
I think it from what it seems is that Kacia and Mordecai will stay outside, and
they're a little averse to religion, which is fine. But yeah, you will eventually make your way up to the north, where you see atop a slight rise, you see this gray, sagging stone and wood building. This church has obviously weathered centuries of assault and wear and tear. It's very worn. You see a bell tower rising on the back, straining against its like support beams. Like a stiff wind could knock this fucking thing over, but it's still standing. The heavy wooden doors of the church appear to be covered in claw marks and like scorches. But right above the door, you see a weather-worn stone symbol of Lathander, the Morning Lord.
Well, I've heard stories of some of the temples looking this dour, but I suppose these are dour times.
If the whole town has been getting attacked by Strahd, then that would explain why it's so worn.
Absolutely. Maybe they need help.
We could probably do some help, but I'm gonna sit out here for a minute. I've got something I want to work on.
Completely fine. I know that,
Have fun with your useless god.
I was going to say that I know that some religions are not for everybody, but some people just have to be rude.
He still smiles at you, but he just turns and knocks on the door.
Yeah, you knock on the door. There is no answer, but as you kind of knock, it gives a little, like the door is open a bowl. And if you kind of, churches don't typically lock their doors that much. But if it is open, you kind of, push the doors open a little bit, and you reveal this 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit. It smells like mildew in here. There's a couple of doors on either side of the hall. It's a pretty typical small town church. You can see that the chapel itself is strewn with debris. But you hear a very soft voice from within reciting a prayer, which you would know is like the Lathander equivalent of like the Lord's Prayer, the "Give us this day our daily bread," the Hail Mary, full of grace, that sort of thing.
Okay. I think Luke will kind of open the door just enough for him and Rylie to kind of squeak by, and he'll kind of like do this to Rylie, being like,
they might be a bit jumpy. Just,
yeah, and you can hear this kind of soft prayer. And as you make your way in, your eyes kind of adjust to the weird light, because there is like some busted ass stained glass in the back of the chapel, like above where the altar is, refracting weirdly colored lights inside. But you can see a figure, a kneeling figure, hands clasped in prayer, looking up at the kind of decrepit statue of the Morning Lord himself. This is the person who is praying.
Mm-hmm. Is this Donovan?
Donovich. It's an older man who is mostly bald, heavy set. You would assume so, considering it seems like he's the only freaking person here.
Mm-hmm. I think Luke, based on all of the practices that he's kind of gone through, he knows to wait until he is done with his prayer, and perhaps as he's kind of finishing up, maybe there's like an amendment to a prayer that someone can add at the end.
Got it.
So maybe he does that to kind of as a way to like introduce himself without spooking the guy.
Gotcha. Yeah. As you kind of approach and you hear the prayer start to wind down a little bit, you see, like, for a moment his head kind of falls, and you complete the kind of response of the call and response, like, the amen or the whatever that's supposed to happen at the end. And he, like, for a second his body kind of like almost falls forward, like he wasn't expecting anything, and then he quickly kind of gets up to his feet and turns around. This poor man has bags under his eyes like you would not believe. It looks like he has not slept in a month. But he looks at you, this kind of, heavy set, almost Chef Cousteau looking guy, like from Ratatouille.
Yeah.
But he will look up at you, and you see clasped in his hands are like these almost rosaries with the symbol of the rising sun as an amulet at the end. You can also notice that on the hand that he's holding, he's got a bandage that's still a little bit wet with blood. But, that's neither here nor there.
Is he afflicted with the zombie?
I don't know. But he will get to his feet and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear you come in. Please, I am Zarovich. Welcome to Barovia, our church. Please forgive me. Forgive me the state that it's in right now." He kind of kicks a piece of wood out of the way. The pews are all shattered.
It's quite all right. I was, as a fellow cleric of the Morning Lord, I was advised to check in.
Cleric, you say of Lathander?
Yes.
And he kind of he smiles and he kind of gestures to his own holy symbol. That for Luke, I have his holy symbol. It's on his not on the cowl, but it's on the kind of the scarf that he has.
Gotcha.
He gestures to it.
Forgive me, I did not. We do not see many in these parts.
Well,
his light is fading, I am afraid, for most.
For most, but regardless, light always comes back, especially after the darkest of nights. Me and my brother and a few others, well, we came here, I can't say by choice, but we're here nonetheless.
Bless his heart.
That nose.
Big old honking nose.
Yes, unfortunately, it is the way things tend to be in Barovia, but welcome nonetheless. Perhaps his light will shine on both of us this day.
Considering that we're meeting in the material plane, I think it already has.
Yes, I see.
You wouldn't happen to know a Father Seleve, would you?
Solveig, I am afraid it does not sound familiar. It is certainly a Barovian name.
Quite all right. He's
his eyes go a little distant for a hot second.
A mentor, the one that brought me into the faith. He's mentioned Barovia from time to time, but just a bit of curiosity if you perhaps knew him.
I see. No, I've never heard of this person, but I am sure if he is spreading the faith, then he is an honorable man. Forgive me. He kind of wipes the dust off of his knees. He's very out of sorts.
Sure. He kind of goes over there and he goes,
Forgive me, Father. I noticed that you were injured, and the claw marks on the door. Is this your wolf problem?
Oh, no. This is nothing. Since the church fell out of operation, we have not had any attack. Old scars of battle. This is... I slipped on a trowel in the garden.
Insight check?
Go ahead.
That sounds weird.
That's an 11.
He's lying. He's lying.
Okay, is there something I can do that'll let me...
Man's gotta do a random blood ritual. God.
I mean, you can always just say, that's not... You can always call him out on it and say, that's not true or something.
Yeah, his eyes kind of flutter at that, and he goes,
Oh, Father, considering that we're especially in the light of the Morning Lord now, you can be frank with me about these sort of things. I mean, I myself,
and he kind of gestures to his one paler eye,
have had my own number of wounds.
He looks a little nervous to have been called out so suddenly, but he will say, of course, outreach does not always go well in this village.
I can certainly tell from some of the locals that they're not particularly fond of the Morning Lord.
There is very little of his light left in the valley.
Is there anything that we can do to perhaps restore some of that faith?
You can tell. I won't even make you roll insight. The way he's scrambling with his words, you get the sense he's lost his faith a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. He does that, and then Luke kind of nods a bit, and he says, "It's all right if you lost your way. All of us lose our way at one point or another. It's just a matter of whether or not one can find the strength to come back."
Yes, oftentimes you find it hard to come back from Barovia. But yes, his light will shine once again after the darkest dusk. The dawn is ever brighter, yes.
His head kind of like slowly like tips to the side, and he goes, "We'll work on that if you want. Is it alright if I and my brother and a few others outside perhaps rest for a bit?"
I am afraid that would be impossible.
Even on the ground? I'm not asking for a bed or a cot or anything.
Yes, no, it is, again, I apologize. It is frankly impossible. If word gets out that people are staying in the church, then people will come back here and will bring... there is no good can come of it.
How can I make this work with my background feature? Because it says I always get shelter from those of the same faith as me.
True. What he will say... this is tricky. He is... he will say to you...
go sleep in the cemetery. Go back.
Fucking, that's easy for me to do.
Honestly, he will say... Of course, I would not turn away one of his chosen light, but it would have to be you alone, no others.
His brows kind of furrow, and he's like, "Father, despite perhaps your waning faith, I feel like there's something else plaguing this entire town that's keeping people from resting their head anywhere. Is there perhaps some insight that you can give me about that?"
The village, the entire valley is under the talons of the devil Strahd.
Again, he's a vampire, he's not a devil. If he was a devil, I think we might have more trouble.
I know the difference, believe me, but he may as well be Asmodeus himself.
His eyes like blink once at that. I haven't heard that name in quite some time.
Then you are behind on your studies.
No, they tend to mention others in... It doesn't matter.
There is no peace in Barovia, village or otherwise. The more faith that we attempt to spread, the more we will catch his eye. The more you catch his eye, the more beasts come. If it weren't for that damned wizard, then we would be fine. But this place is cursed ever since that day.
Is this the wizard that was mentioned with everybody else?
The uprising.
Yes. But is it truly one of faith to simply have it for convenience, regardless of whether or not the devil has its eye on you? After all, if enough light were to shine, eyes can't see very well.
Yes, well...
Again,
I have
we'll have to work on that. And he pats you.
Yeah, he will kind of like nod a little bit and bite his tongue and say, perhaps one day there will be light again in this place, but not, I fear, for me.
Again, he pats you and he's like, we'll work on that. And then he kind of he turns towards Rylie, and he goes back over to him and he'll say, if we're going to make this work, if Strahd really doesn't want light, it seems to me that that might be the thing that works. I want to try to work with him. I've personally experienced possibilities of faith loss.
So, you think that if we bring hope back to Barovia, that maybe that strength will make it easier to fight Strahd?
Or perhaps get some sort of divine blessing, regardless of whether or not people truly believe it. If they believe that there is a chance that the town can be saved, or this realm that we're stuck in, they might be a little bit more interested.
Then maybe we should start by helping the Burger Man's son.
Precisely. Restore at least a little bit of faith.
Faith in that they could live, survive.
Overcome.
Okay.
Kind of smiles and kind of like he's like eyeing Rylie a little bit because he's still like wondering about that pie. But he'll turn back towards Donovich and he'll say, Father, is it okay for me to come and go at will?
What? It would be preferable if you were to announce such a thing, but
I will knock next time.
It's very well, of course. But again, as I say, it would be inappropriate for others to come. To stay, I mean.
I understand. Don't worry, I won't bother you with staying here now. My brother's very important to me. But I'll come back and we'll workshop.
Roll me a quick insight.
He's gonna run. Oh god, I'm rolling 11s left and right.
I mean, I will say when you say my brother is very important to me, there's something in him. There's something in this man that reacts to that.
In a bad way.
In like a ooh, that kind of hurt a little bit way.
Like personally for him?
Personally.
Gotcha. Cool. I'll use that later.
Not necessarily brother, but relationships.
Sure. Yeah. I'm understanding that there is like a consistent feeling of loss amongst people, outside of Morgana or whatever her name was.
Yeah, Morgantha. Yes.
I'm never going to remember any of these names, Michael. You have to understand that right now.
Okay. Most of them are you're probably not coming back to Barovia.
Yeah.
But as this whole thing is happening, we sit outside, kind of a crumbling stone bench on the outside of the church grounds. Mordecai, you kind of sit tinkering away. Kacia, are you sitting with him, or what are you up to?
She's looking around the premises. Like, at first she was just wanting to like scope out the front before eventually sitting down. What?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as you're kind of walking around, Kacia, when you kind of catch a moment alone as you're just kind of viewing the cemetery, you hear that voice. You almost feel a hand on your shoulder, and you just hear, faith can be good, yes.
Depends who you're faithful to.
Faith is a commodity to be spent where it lies. Faith is a drive. It matters not to whom. You are faithful, as is he. Though perhaps he's God. Perhaps his God speaks not as we do.
Right. Are you asking of me to be more open?
Barovia is dead. The dead do not suffer the living to pass. And I need you living for now. Another in the army, wouldn't you say?
Potentially.
A friend when others have failed. A body to block the shot.
Right.
I feel a pull. This is no happenstance. There are parts to be played. Temptations to be found. I should very much like to see.
I'll keep my eyes open then. For you.
You always do. Like
She'll
this one.
smile at that.
Yeah, and he will let you kind of linger on that as you do feel almost like a squeeze on your shoulder a little bit, kind of soft. But then he will kind of say, you find your attention drawn to the bench where Mordecai is fiddling away.
Like this one. Loyal. But to who?
The blade.
The blade.
While you were having sex, I was studying the blade.
But he will say,
Again, I feel the pull. You will do wonders. All of you. Great and terrible.
Diversity.
diversity.
Right. See what use he can be in the greater scheme.
What use you can be.
And you will feel the presence fade pretty abruptly after that.
She's gonna sigh once she feels them gone before moving her way over to the bench to sit down.
Mordecai won't look up from what he's doing. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He's got just a bit of leather from like just this little bag that he's had this whole time, draped across his lap, kind of just open flap, just a bunch of tools and like spare pieces of leather lying around. And he's fiddling. He's making something. It's kind of rounded. You see him he'll stick a tool in his mouth to hold it while he's doing something with his hands. He's kind of very absorbed in it, but still very aware of your presence. And he'll just kind of say, Periwinkle really liked that pie, so I figured I'd give him something to play with. It's quite miserable being the muscle and being abused by your sibling.
I very much well be there, but if his brother finds out that he has some unknown known toy, wouldn't that cause him to get yelled at? Or worse?
He'll kind of finish the last few presses and then hold up this mouse. That's Periwinkle's a big guy and Mordecai is pretty small, but it's still a pretty small mouse. It's probably I don't know,
It's one of the catnip toys.
it's it's big enough that he could kind of hold it, but it's small enough that it's easily hidden.
You're literally reenacting the plot of Mice and Men, by the way.
What?
Yeah, we are with him.
Yeah.
And
Bless
then
his
he's
heart.
gonna get shot.
He is the Lenny archetype.
Yeah.
Bless
Then
his
he's
heart.
gonna go get shot.
Are we gonna get him killed?
No.
You better not kill him.
You think anybody can kill Periwinkle?
Periwinkle's a big
Can we
beast
just take
of a
him
man.
to go deal with Strahd?
Periwinkle.
I'll tell you things later.
Well, Kacia will give that impression. Are you trying to get him killed? In trouble?
I don't think that his brother or anybody could really kill him. I'm a skilled hunter, and I couldn't kill him. Look, it's
You'd be surprised.
people deserve a little bit of sunshine. And a drab place like this, especially someone as innocent as Periwinkle. And his eyes are kind of dull as he says that. These typically golden eyes are kind of dulled. And he'll kind of tuck the mouse into one of his pockets and set about putting his tools away. Just have to help people when you can, It's not much, but... And
Well,
he'll
you
kind of
can,
just...
But there's always downsides to every careless goodness. That's why most of those places dead. How all of Barovia is dead.
Like me. You see how gaunt I am? Weak?
You're living.
I'm living, but... I give everything I get, except for a bit, to... Well, I did. To the people who saved me. People help people, and that's what keeps us alive.
Well, if you helped people and it's led you down this gaunt, nearly decayed road, is that beneficial for you?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
It's beneficial for them, and that's what matters. People like me
Did they
don't
happen
deserve...
to take advantage of you, dear? Against your generosity?
No, I do everything because I empathize with the suffering, the things they've gone through. People like me don't deserve to be cared for and kind. So I make sure they give nothing to me and I give everything to them.
People like you. I'm a human. I'm only assuming.
Human with a less than delightful past. And present at this current moment.
She'll blink at that.
I owe a lot of people a lot of things.
Nice.
How about you? I assume you do nothing for anybody except yourself. With the kind of talk you've been giving me. And you've ended up here.
I was born here. This is all I know.
Exactly. And now you're back. To quite literally one of the worst places on the planet now. Ruled by a tyrant, an immortal one at that.
teach their own, I guess. If you
Teach
find
their own. Especially with
Yeah.
someone with such limited view of this place. This is how it's been, and this is how it's seems to always be. Families get erased off the face of the earth. Entire races are banished and slaughtered. All because of him.
You know, if I was young and stupid again, I would say, let's go kill him, or try. But I know better. There's no point, because it's not going to work. I know he starts to get kind of emotional. I knew someone a long time ago that would be so foolish to walk in here, declare himself, and try to kill Strahd. I hope the gods that he hadn't done that already. But I know better than that.
Yeah, because they'd be either maimed or just about dead.
Yeah. So, humor me. If you're from this place, and you have really no reason to try and leave, why are you staying with us? Why have you not headed back towards where you're from here? Do you want something from us? Do you think the few pieces of gold I have are worth a damn?
I wanted rest, dear. And in groups, you are protected. There was something about you all have potential. A glimmer of hope, one might say. No matter how dull it is.
He'll narrow his eyes at that. So you're framing it as you're not helping us, but we're helping you.
Mutual. I provide my insight of Barovia and my capabilities in battle. And you'll be of use.
You're right, I did say people help people. I'd like to think I'm useful. I'm kind of glad I ended up here. In a sick way. It's like I deserve it, you know? Pretty much a
No one
burden.
really deserves it unless you're absolutely awful.
He'll kind of snort.
Have you done something awful? Are you a conqueror, or are you just some poor hunter?
Hunters hunt what they're drawn to hunt.
Do you hunt people? Or just the undead?
Dangerous game.
You could say you. Instincts have a way.
Well, we always do what we need to do to survive, no matter the morality.
There's a difference between survival and the thrill of the hunt, I guess you could say.
We all lose ourselves. You seem to reel yourself back.
He'll kind of raise his eyebrows and blink at that. For now. And he'll get kind of this distant look in his eyes.
Just in time for the doors to open. Luke and Rylie, you step back out.
Starwipe, we tell you what the father said.
Of course, you explain everything.
It all makes sense.
There's
No rooms at the inn, no rooms at the chapel.
There's nowhere for baby Jesus to be born.
We can go out into the wood and have great forage. That's what we've learned. But yeah, he'll explain that, and that there seems to be this like dour feeling about what happened about this quote unquote uprising. But Luke kind of insists on saying if Strahd really doesn't want the light or anyone having faith in anything, or in not necessarily in a god, but in like themselves, then that kind of seems like a no-brainer to Luke. Like, if the people have faith in themselves or faith in hope or whatever, then that would ultimately be his undoing.
Yeah, could this be what he fears?
Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
As a start. As a start.
Yeah.
Can I dig in my brain and see what I remember learning about vampires?
Oh, yeah. Actually, everybody go ahead and roll me
Stinky.
a religion check.
Stinky.
Or a
Haha.
survival.
18.
Oh.
Oh,
Thank you.
why'd you say that after?
Haha,
But
shit.
you still rolled fine.
Well, since I don't know this, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
let's
make me
go
a
with religion.
snack,
Why
'cause
not? I have a +4
starving.
in fucking survival, yet my 0. Bullshit.
Vampires. I was going to give Taylor advantage anyway because of his very specific training, but that's fine. You all know this information because most people know this information. It's folk tales. It's folklore at this point. Vampires. They are undead that drink the blood of the living. They come in different flavors. They come in different varieties.
Different clans.
Yeah, a not quite fully fledged vampire is called a vampire spawn. Think of them a little more than a ghoul, in VTM terms.
Thin blood.
A vampire spawn is basically not mindless, but it is a creature driven by hunger, purely. They still can have, sentient characteristics, but everything they do is in service of a meal or in service of their lord, their master. If they don't feed for long enough, they will go literally just bestial. But some of them, can make their way as long as their master provides for them. A vampire itself is nothing to be reckoned with. Effectively immortal, undead creatures can transform into different forms. There are a few core tenets of vampires that everybody knows. They can't walk in sunlight. If they do, it causes them physical pain. It causes them to literally begin to die.
That's why it's always cloudy.
Garlic is a myth. Holy symbols are a myth. That's all folklore stuff. Sunlight. So radiance, essentially. Funny enough, I'll give it to you for the over 15s. Running water. Vampires cannot cross running water. If they do... What?
We're about to cheese the hell out of this.
I already know how to defeat him!
I know!
We create a moat around his fucking castle!
Well, here's the thing. They can cross running water, but it's like walking through this. It hurts, basically.
If we make it wide enough...
Do they have an addiction to counting?
No,
Damn it.
Actually. That's fun, real folklore. I love that stuff. But no. Contrary to popular belief, they can eat, they can drink, just like anybody else. They get no sustenance from it.
Tastes like ash.
To some.
I'm
to
joking.
some. Yeah, but honestly, though, to some. To like a vampire spawn, yeah. But a fully fledged vampire, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They're basically gods on the earth. Not quite as strong, but they
Yeah,
certainly
I
see
like it.
themselves that way. They can fly. They can transform. Like I said, they are wholly evil beings. Wholly, not holy. They cannot enter a residence without being invited in. Forbiddance is a thing.
So that's why he lingers outside of the house, because
We just make a giant...
And that's
can't we just make a giant house around his thing? And then
A Trojan house?
He can't leave.
Wait, so like
A Trojan house.
It's a Trojan
Let's go.
house. Let's fucking go.
that sounds stupid as cheesy as
Yeah.
hell.
But that's how
Are
it
we
works.
using
That's
Terraria terms of houses? Like there needs to be a table and a chair and a light source?
you need the back wall. You need I don't a residence. You cannot enter somebody's residence without their prior invite. Supposedly. Who knows what Strahd is? If he is a vampire, if he's a quote-unquote alpha vampire or whatever the fuck.
Alpha
That-
vampire.
Alpha vampire implies there's a beta
Omega
and an omega vampire.
AOB
No.
vampire.
No, not again.
Anyway,
Not again.
Christ help
It's
me.
okay. AOB's already canon because werewolves exist in this game.
ABO, you dipshit.
Stop.
Anyway,
Look, Michael, you already said
I'm
it's
thinking
hella
about blood
easy to
types.
romance him, so
if you're pretty enough. Anyway,
And I'm gonna
Lucas, very
stab him.
pretty. I
Star
think
Wipe.
we're all
Yeah.
pretty except me.
Star Wipe. We're 20 minutes from the end. You go back to the Blood on the Vine. You meet up with Ismark. You all have the story at this point. And he will begin kind of making his way, taking you toward his home down the southern road. Or rather, he will start doing that. But as you're kind of making your way out there, he's kind of paying up his tavern or his fees. As you all step outside and wait, you can see Mary, the homeless woman,
God damn it, I don't have my spell slots yet.
just kind of wandering about.
Joke's on you. That's his mom. Joke's on you. This is Sweeney.
There's a lot of kind of parallels, yeah.
I already
Mordecai
called
immediately notices.
the meat pie lady, Mrs. Lovett.
Right. Anybody who sells pies is automatically Mrs. Lovett. But you all
So
just see her
Rylie
kind of
8 people. Got it.
You say like he hasn't done that already.
see
This
her kind of
this is just Sweeney Todd. Fuck.
Shut up.
I'm
see her
Sweeney
You're
Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Shut up. You see her walking around, kind of going up toward people who are walking by, kind of extending that hand, asking them to come near, and they just kind of swerve like in Times Square. I hate people.
Whenever they
but
see a
anyway.
homeless person. Yes.
Exactly. But yeah, she kind of turns to see all of you again, and she looks to you with those kind of slightly wider eyes. She's not sobbing anymore. She seems, calmed is not the right word, but she seems a little bit more composed than early in this morning. Morgantha maybe gave the impression that it was kind of a cyclical thing, like, oh, you can time your watch by when the crying starts, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But yeah, she kind of looks to all of you and then, big eyes and extends her hand. Please come here.
Luke kind of stops. And he paps his pouch and he'll look towards the rest of you and say, I'll catch up in a moment.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say that Mordecai took a brief, speedy detour and dropped the mouse off.
Yeah, you could easily have done that. Yeah, you drop the mouse off at the window. Periwimple is not there to receive it, but you trust he'll get his hands on it.
He's going to start expecting gifts now on his windowsill.
Right. See, now he's going to keep coming back. But yeah, you Luke, you begin to make your way over toward Mary.
Mm-hmm.
She still kind of stands there, hunched over, with that kind of hand outstretched, palm up. What do you do?
All right, Can I roll something to see if I can get some insight on how to approach her? Because I really wanted to cast Calm Emotions, but all my second spell slots are up right
That's
now.
okay.
Still.
Give me an insight.
All right.
And if thaumaturgy didn't cause
16.
noise, I would have flung it to open that window.
Yeah.
Shove the rat in.
Throw the rat in the window. With a 16, you get the sense that she is, like I said, a little bit more composed at this hour. Still kind of like dry mouth a little bit. Like you can see her kind of, trying to lick
Tasting.
a little bit because she's just kind of had her mouth hanging open all day.
Slack
you don't get slack-jawed. You don't really get the sense that she's gonna, be much of a talker. But as she reaches out her hand, it doesn't seem like she's asking for money. It seems like she's asking for something else.
Not a meat pie.
Is this cats?
No.
Is this cats? Is she asking for to be touched?
That's Planet of the Apes.
She's asking not for a meat pie. I think like Luke sees that and kind of like glances back towards the rest of the group that's still going, and then he produces the pie in the one hand, and he'll say,
You're gonna need to keep up your strength.
and then with the other, because he holds it in the one hand, and then with the other hand, he's gonna risk it because he's thinking like if he has to restore faith or hope in this thing, then you can't treat the people who are mentally ill improperly. So, and I think he reaches over, and then we'll see what happens.
She looks at you for a good long second, and she will kind of keep reaching toward your outstretched empty hand. Do you give it to her?
Yes.
She'll take your hand, and she'll kind of pull a little bit, like pull you close kind of suddenly. And she will like look up at you, and you see she's still got her other hand very closely clutched to her chest, and you can see that she's holding something like a bundle of something, almost, or it's kind of bundled up in her robes a little bit, but she will hold your hand and kind of like feel it for a second. Like you get the sense that this is the first time she's had human contact in a little while. And she just kind of looks up at you and looks down and grabs what she's holding and places it in your hand, but doesn't let go quite yet. And she says, "Have you seen her?"
His eyes kind of flutter a little bit at that, and he'll say,
I have not yet. Where shall I look?
See her. Have you seen her? And she'll let go, and she'll leave what she was holding in your hand, which is, slight trigger warning,
Sure.
a doll.
Sure.
Kind of ratty looking, like made of sackcloth, with kind of a crooked stitched smile all
like
across
a
his
vintage
face.
Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, but kind of worse, like worse proportions. It kind of looks like
It's just a little
Scrump from
talisman.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a little talisman, that's what.
It's kind of
family.
Yeah, but it does.
It's
It
a
does.
human
he
effigy.
said nobody gets left behind. We have
It's-
to find her.
Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
that Morgana lady.
It has
She's a
like those kind of
bitch.
empty eyes, no buttons in the eyes, just like eyes that go into darkness. And for a moment, it reminds you of those scarecrows again. But you can see that there is hair stitched into the doll. Almost, it looks to be human hair, blonde hair. And she just kind of like looks up at you expectantly. Have you seen her?
Not yet. But I'll look for her. Does she have a name?
Forgot her name. Shit, hold on.
You're a shitty mother, aren't you?
God damn it. Shut up. Shut up. No,
She starts flipping through her wallet.
fuck, I'm so close. I was so close. It's in my mind. It's in my mind. Where is it? God damn it. Shit. She will look up to you and she'll say, Gertruda. Have you seen her?
I'm assuming I haven't heard a name Gertruda with everyone talking
No.
about it.
Gertruda, no.
Gertruda.
It's Gertrude, but like
Gertruda.
But even more Russian, yes.
Even Gertruda.
Gertruda.
He tries to look sympathetic towards her, because he has a feeling if he says no, I haven't, she might freak out. So he's going to say,
I haven't yet. I just got here. But I'll look for her, I promise.
You tell her that she's been very naughty, stepping out. I told her to stay in, I did.
Absolutely. Where should I tell her to come back to?
You tell her to come home, because her mummy's very angry.
does this woman look ancient?
No.
No? Okay.
She looks to be in like her 60s, maybe.
Okay, but still, like, old enough. Like, this woman looks like this. It's not like she's talking about a child. Like,
You do get the sense that she is like
this is grandma talking.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. She may just be
right.
Treating this missing person as
a child.
She might be infantilizing whoever this person.
I'm kind of getting the same vibe as how some Alzheimer's patients have baby dolls. Just out of character.
Yeah, how it kind of regresses a little bit.
Yeah. Like when they kind of get that degenerative, they regress and they don't really realize that their child has grown up.
Sure.
That's and they think that this child's missing.
Sure.
That's a possible interpretation. You guys really don't have enough information, maybe, to make the call. I mean, you could certainly ask around the town about Gertruda.
Fantasy all time.
Hey, does Mad Mary have a daughter? You know,
right? That sort of thing.
Oh no, she's died. Yes,
ask her.
Something like that.
Gertruda burned down 40 years ago.
She's been dead for 800 years.
Luke will nod, and he'll ask one more question. He'll say,
"Just so I know, with asking people around and looking for her, how long has she been gone?"
She missed her dinner last night. Wicked girl.
Smiles a little sad because he knows based on what Morgantha. Goddamn, I'm never gonna remember any of these names.
Morgana the witch.
It's Morgana with a
Morgantha. Based on what she said, that this has been happening for a while.
Yes.
He nods and he says, "Well, if I see her before supper, I'll definitely tell her to come back, and that she's been very naughty, and that she should treat you much better than making you worry."
She just kind of nods a little bit. The one last thing that you can kind of glean from this doll, other than the fact that it does have human hair woven into it, rather shoddily, like that was an extra edition. The doll didn't have hair initially. Or you can actually, I'll give you one better. It looks like it used to have yarn for hair, but it was like pulled out and replaced.
Sure.
Probably by Mary. The one other thing that you get is like right on like the leg of the doll, which is just a stump, but you see a tiny little tag sewn in, indicating that, hey, somebody made this thing. It's not just, like it's from a shop.
It's not like her creepy doll that she made.
Yeah, no. It's like it's from a shop. I mean, which is maybe even worse. Like, what shop is selling
this? You see the Thai Beanie Baby tag on it.
Kind of. Because it does have that kind of commercial thing. Like on one side of the tag is like a stylized jester's hat with bells. And on the other side, it just in quotation marks says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Is no Blinsky. Sorry.
It's no fun.
Is no fun, is no Blinsky.
Because without Blinsky, it's no fun.
Exactly. If it isn't fun, it isn't a Blinsky.
Okay. Definitely.
I fucking love that.
Duly note that. He nods, and then he'll kind of gesture to offer both the doll and the food out to her in case she wants either of them back. He's not going.
She will snatch the doll back immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would assume that he wasn't allowed to keep that. Can I just for shiggles? Do I need to touch this thing because I have one spell slot left? Oh, there's no way I had 10 minutes with this thing. Oh no, concentration up to 10 minutes. It's on
Mhm.
action. I want to know if it's magical. If there's anything.
If the doll is detect magic.
If there is anything magical about that doll.
Gotcha. In order to cast it as a ritual, you need 10 minutes. But if you want to burn the spell slot, you can detect magic.
I'm burning my last spell slot.
There is no magic inherent in the doll.
Okay, that's fine.
Whatsoever. You don't detect any magic anywhere nearby, except little bit with the pies.
Right.
It's the magic mushroom.
Magic with the pies.
The literal magic.
Okay.
That's it.
That's fine.
And she will
Love is the magic ingredient.
She will snatch the doll back and immediately kind of go nonverbal again and just kind of sneer at you and like spit down at your feet and kind of pet the doll almost like you mussed up its hair and then start walking away.
He doesn't force obviously the pie on her or anything like that.
Right,
but
of course.
He,
it was available and she didn't take it.
Yeah. He has information and
Yes.
he'll kind of turn back towards to follow after everyone else while kind of thinking
as
about
you
those fucking eyes.
We'll say that that as you know, Ismark was paying his tab up and everything, and you guys can kind of meet concurrently in the square and begin making your way down south. Ismark is available if you have any questions for him on the way to his house. Does anybody have anything they want to ask? I mean, this would be a time if you wanted to ask about Gertruda or XYZ.
You're getting food, right?
Yeah. Luke will let everyone know like what he talked about with her.
Of course.
And yeah, like if we ever hear anything
Two
about...
missing children.
Yeah.
Well, one's an actual child, but
we don't know. We're just presuming.
Yeah, one might be an adult by this point. We don't know. Luke will definitely emphasize that woman needs a lot of healing. But that he, obviously wasn't going to force anything on her. He will ask the Farquaad looking guy if he's heard of a Gertruda.
Markiplier.
Markiplier with blonde hair. Gross.
Ew, he kind of is though. But he will say,
give us your best
I'm
Markiplier
sorry.
impression now.
No, I won't, because it'll put some bad juju into this game.
He just looks like a really skinny Kronk.
He does. He's definitely definitely a twunk. He's a little bit of a himbo.
Okay, Patrick Warburton now, please.
No, God no. Though I do want to hear him try a Russian accent. Anyway, Ismark will say, Gertruda, have you been talking to Mary?
Talked to Mary. I've only spoken with her once. She showed me her doll.
Yes, Gertruda is her daughter. She's been gone for some time now.
I presume years?
At least a decade.
Okay. 10 years.
Any reason why?
Well, I know you have not had the warmest welcome here, but at the risk of tainting your perception of my village even further, in order to keep her daughter safe, Gertruda was hidden away in the attic for many years. We only found out about it when she left.
Luke's eyes kind of furrow at that, and he's like,
Safe from what?
Everything. Strahd. This was even before the uprising, before all of this. They called her Mad Mary a long time before Gertruda went missing.
For imprisoning her?
It is a sad tale. I only hope that Gertruda has found a better life somewhere.
Luke looks very contemplative, at that.
If you know that she left, surely you must know where she must have gone.
There are rumors, only rumors, that she was attempting to contact Strahd himself to save her from this life. I only pray that she did not get through to him.
If someone's determined enough to do anything, I wouldn't doubt it.
This is the mansion. He will quickly deflect. And you will see this weary-looking building behind a rusting iron fence. The gates are twisted and torn. The right gate is completely cast aside. The left is just kind of hanging by a thread, by a hinge. The squeal and clang of the gate is almost rhythmic at this point. The grounds are covered in weeds, and actually even begin to grow up the sides of the house itself. Yet against the walls, the growth has been tramped down, almost like a path, almost like somebody walked the perimeter a dozen times. Heavy claw markings strip all the paint off of the outdoors. It once, you can tell, looked like a pretty decent place, but scorch marks as well prove otherwise. There is no glass in any of the windows. They are all barred with wooden planks, all stained with blood. And he will say, "Forgive the appearance. We've had to do much to keep these walls standing. Come along." He will pull out a heavy ring of keys and open the door, unlock the door. And as he opens it, he will just kind of call out, "Irina, it's me. I bring guests." And as you enter, you can see the interior is very well furnished, but it's in disrepair. Great, it's well worn in. The windows again boarded up, but the one thing that you definitely notice, at least even in this very front room, no fewer than like 4 holy symbols on the wall, holy symbols of the Morning Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And if you kind of look into the hall, you can see them lining the halls as well. And in the other room, there's some on the walls. Every room in this house has many holy symbols lining the walls, almost as if an omen. In fact, you could even literally see a strand of garlic hanging above the door.
Trying everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying literally everything, yeah. He will say, we can, sorry, excuse me. He will kind of, as he's walking you down the hall into kind of like the living area, he will reach over and kind of close one of the doors. Not trying to hide anything, but you will see in this door that he's closing, you get a faint scent of decay. Because you see in this drawing room a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers. And he will shut the door. Say,
Daddy. That's Daddy.
"It is where we have had to house him for now."
Can you not bury him?
"Yes, but it is not safe to bring him out on the streets. The stench may attract all manner of things."
Even during the day?
"Yes."
If you need
Things
help,
coming from the woods.
yes. If you need help with any type of final rites or perhaps alternative means of putting the body to rest.
He just kind of nods, almost welling up a bit. Like the fact that somebody's even bothered to offer is really touching for him. All the flowers that are around clearly were not delivered. It seemed like they were handpicked out of the bare garden out front and surrounding. And he will kind of bring you into the main living
under the floorboard.
I was gonna cremate him.
I mean,
But,
I have potter's tools. We can make an urn.
Let's go.
Yeah, you need a spinning wheel. Maybe you could get one from
man.
Grath.
It's gonna be a weak pot, but I don't need no wheel.
But you make your way into kind of the main living area, and inside, kind of sitting on the couch, you see a woman. And she stands abruptly to kind of greet you all. And the one thing that you can get is kind of besides like the kind of rough exterior of a lot of these people, she is strikingly beautiful. You know, as well kept as she can be in a house like this kind of past shoulder length auburn hair. And she just kind of looks to all of you and says, hello, welcome. I'm Irina. It's a pleasure to meet you all. She kind of looks over at Ismark with a sense of like, what is this? What's going on? And Ismark will say, these are newcomers to the village. They're here to help. And she will just kind of crack a little smile and give you a nod and say, well, welcome to Barovia. I heard you talking in the other room. Could you really help us bury him?
I can definitely help you put the body to rest, and it might not be putting the body as whole, but there are alternative means and...
No, there is no... She will immediately get very upset by that, and Ismark will just say, Irina, please, they are willing to help in any way if he can find some peace. No, there is no peace in that. He must go with his father, with the burgomasters before him. It's not right.
What's that?
The cemetery at the church, just across town. I don't know if you've been. We can't even take him that far on our own.
Well, considering that I am a cleric of the Morning Lord, and I do have permission to go inside as long as I announce myself with Father Donovich, perhaps we can bury him accordingly to your specifications and not cremate him.
She's kind of shocked by this. You can tell that this maybe isn't the first time that Ismark's tried to like find an alternative way to put him to rest. But she is kind of shocked and over the moon, and she will literally just run up and hug you.
Man, she went from hi, how you doing, to fuck this guy, to you're my best friend.
Yeah.
Luke is just like,
it's okay. I recently lost my father too.
He whispers to her so that only she can hear.
She will kind of pull back and like look very concerned and almost like speak, almost like I'm so sorry, but gets the hint that it's a secret. So she just kind of looks at you and gives you a nod. And she speaks, kind of turns to all of you and says, well, I was just about to
Thank you all for coming. If you need rest, we have plenty of rooms. Please make yourselves at home.
We should rest early if we intend to see what happens at night.
She gets a little like pent up about it for a second, but Ismark will make it very clear that yes, of course. If you would like to, I can show you places for you to rest. Your help would be greatly appreciated for when they come.
Well,
Of course.
that's partially why we're here.
Irina will kind of smile and nod, and she will make her way quickly down the hall, almost with a little spring in her step. And you can hear a door open. That clearly she went into the room with the casket. For whatever reason.
She's just like, the smell doesn't bother me anyway.
I mean, honestly, in a house
Been
with
around it.
garlic and corpse that they've been living in for a week, you probably get used to it. But Ismark will kind of like exasperatedly sigh for a second and say, "Thank you. You did not need to do that. They were very close, the two of them. Irina is adopted. I'm sure it's no surprise." He gestures to his own face. But my father found her on the edge of the woods years ago when I was still very, very young. And we took her in. She is a light in the darkness, I guess you could say.
It sounds to
Mordecai-
me. I'm sorry. I just wanted to have him to say one-liner. It seems to me that he was her light. I can understand that.
Mordecai?
I was just gonna say, when he starts talking about how they came to be siblings, Mordecai looks very pained and kind of puts a hand to his chest.
There are many stories like hers, I'm sure, in Barovia. But I would give my life for her. And I would never ask her to do the same. I thank you for... I thank you. This will put her to great comfort. But please, make yourselves at home. Consider it yours now. And he will release you.
Luke will nod at that and then just basically kind of say it as sideline to him, like, whenever you want to try to arrange to bring him, Luke will basically go up, say, "Hey, time to get your priestly ass in gear. We're gonna bury a body," and then go back down, get the body, bring the body.
There is a day to spend.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Considering you are, so you're gonna be sleeping, waking up at night to see what happened, to help defend the house, basically.
Yeah.
And then presumably do another rest, and then the day you take the body. He will affirm that the plan makes sense, and he will show you to rooms on the second level, on the second story, where you can all sleep. Without belaboring it, you can settle in. You can take a long rest. All of you regain your hit points, your spell slots, your funny little abilities. Rylie, that pie never fucking kicks in.
Bummer.
You sleep a boring sleep and do not dream. And then you wake in the night with everyone else.
Imagine dreaming.
Imagine dreaming.
Couldn't be me.
Mordecai would have eaten his pie if that has any.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does the rest of us?
If the rest of you, if the other two of you who took the pie eat the pie, pretty much right before going to bed, it seems, your dreams are vivid and very special. Luke, I mean, you can probably tell me what you dreamed about, but we don't need to hear it, unless you want to share.
Your trip.
No,
it's up to you. What is?
It's not the trip.
If you would like to share, what does Luke dream about? I can probably guess.
Happier times that actually don't exist within the walls of the spire.
Understood.
With someone else.
Yep.
Before bad, awful scarecrow things happen. Definitely just probably times that probably embolden him probably when he wakes up or reminds him of things that he promised.
Yeah. Mordecai, do you want to share what you dream about?
Mordecai dreams of when he's young, very young. It's kind of like in that early, like preteen age, where he's just gotten really good at shooting a bow and.
You're in Neverwinter at this point.
Still in Neverwinter. And he's just having a good time, and what?
How old is Mordecai?
Indeterminate.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Did you not come up with an age for him?
Because I was going to say, I also grew up in Neverwinter, dude.
He's 26.
I'm 28. We could have known each other as kids.
It is a big city, but you definitely could have run into each other.
I think we're on the opposite parts of town.
You definitely are probably on the opposite parts of town. I will say that.
It's okay. My dad probably.
My dad works at Microsoft.
My dad dealt with all sorts of people.
Yeah. That's so funny. You guys could discuss that later if you want to, but
it's okay if Taylor doesn't want to. Though.
I understand.
I'm fine. I didn't realize. I don't know why I never made the connection.
That's fine.
It's all jazz, baby. We're figuring it out. But yes, you learn to shoot a bow with a special someone.
Ew, I don't like.
Not in that way. Your dad, basically. But anyway,
adoptive father.
Your adopt dad.
My fake dad.
Real fake dad. But eventually, when you wake, the two of you feeling great. Kacia, your dreams are either mundane or bad. You didn't have a pie. It's okay. Rylie, I don't know. Maybe you just need a higher dose.
More pie.
She just needs to eat the mushroom directly.
I mean,
no.
If my trance is just mental exercises, she's
there you go. Yeah,
imagine whatever the hell she wants.
There you go. I forgot. Yeah, you don't even sleep, so it doesn't fucking matter. Elves, man. But yeah, you wake, and Ismark will kind of take you around and say, I don't have much, but please feel free to supply yourselves with whatever we have. We still have a, he will kind of open a side room, almost a walk-in closet at this point. But it is actually kind of full of it looks like a shitty armory. He says, leftovers from my father's efforts years ago. Take what you need. I could barely use any of it anyway. Most of it is farming equipment, I'm afraid, but there are one or two good. And he will lift, a long sword, the sword that probably he was meant to use, because it kind of pains him to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is good, still sharp. It should be.
Oh, thank you.
And again, like he takes it and kind of like looks it over, flips it over a few times, and he's like, I think it'll work great.
And I will say, for let's dip into the mechanics of the game and say you all have your starting equipment again.
Yeah.
You could get like Mordecai, you had some short swords. I know Kacia, you had a sickle.
I had a sickle and a knife.
And a dagger, yeah. Rylie, I think you had a dagger. Give yourselves your shit back, basically. Including your armors, whatever armor everybody is wearing. I think Luke is the only one who actually lost armor. But you are kind of able to get kind of decked out for the evening. And I will also say, during your brief visit with Father Donovich, you would have been able to gather up cleric supplies. So your priest's pack with your candles and incense and all that shit.
That's good.
You guys have your starting equipment now. And as you kind of gear up, I'll give you a little information. Before you had your long rest, maybe before you even went to bed, if you were to check on Irina, she is sitting in a chair. She sits in the chair by the coffin, and just kind of talks at Dad about how happy she is that they can finally give him some peace.
Hope however you want.
Not in a creepy way, but yeah, in like a going to visit Dad's grave kind of way. Except he's right there.
I was gonna say,
except that he's kind of bloated at this point.
But they don't open the coffin. It's fine.
That's exactly how Rylie does it. That's how Rylie would describe what he did.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yes, you will gear up for the night. What? And it's not too long after Ismark locks the door that the howling begins. And you ready yourselves to see just what is coming for this house. And that, I think, is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Cool.
Thank you all for joining us for Symphony of Sorrow, our Curse of Strahd campaign. We're getting quite quickly into some of the sorrow, so I'm sorry about that. Hope everybody's okay. We'll talk after the session. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. I'm going to throw it to Jesse to take us out properly.
All right, everybody, you know the deal. We're going to say who we are, who we played in, what was your favorite part, or what you're looking forward to in next episode. So we'll start off at the top of the thingy, and then we'll work our way around or whatever. We'll start with Maiku.
Hello, my name is Michael. I've been your dungeon master. Again, thank you for joining. I was thrilled by the roleplay this session. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great start, especially we're learning who these characters are, where they stand, kind of where their ideals are in opposition. But in any case, it seems like they are, well, maybe because they have to, going to be able to work together. But it's going to cause some fun challenges as prickly as things may have begun. I think everybody's going to grow to work together very nicely. It ain't my fault. But I'm also happy that I finally got to introduce some of these fucking NPCs. You even went to the merchants, which I didn't expect, but hey, awesome. Because it's such a useless little fucking detour, but I love Periwimple.
If something bad happens to Periwimple, I'm quitting the game.
Well, then you better make sure nothing bad happens to Periwimple.
He probably
Mordecai has his eyes
him a mouse.
Peeled.
Michael, you literally said that even Strahd can't defeat him, so...
I did not say that.
So, yes...
You asked if the merchant could kill him, and I was like, do you think that anybody could kill him? Strahd can kill whatever the fuck he wants, and I will prove it
Strahd
to you.
doesn't have a reason to kill Periwimple, so...
Periwimple has the
good
strength
point.
of Lenny.
He does.
Periwimple just exists, and he does nothing to bring detriment to Strahd. So...
honestly, if Strahd doesn't have a reason, he won't do nothing.
we have to
but
protect him from his own demons.
Stop spreading hope and faith.
Yeah, I understand I'm putting a giant target on my back.
Yes, you are. But you're the player. You're one of the
When do
player
we
characters,
start placing bets on who dies first? Someone said it was me.
I think it was you that said it was you, but anyway.
No, somebody else said it was me.
No, I was thrilled. I was thrilled by the roleplay. I think all the characters are turning out great. We're gonna see some more fun stuff coming. I hope it's not too dark. It is going to get darker, but I don't think by too much. But we'll fucking see. But yeah, you can check me out here every Monday where I continue to run this game, and every Friday where I play alternately in Jesse and Julian's storyteller system games. I play another bad vampire man, and a fine Irish bard girl. She's kind of a skald at this point. She's half bard, half barbarian.
She did just destroy an entire
Oh,
dam.
she is.
Yeah, she kicked
Oh,
a
now I wanna-
dam down with a foot.
I want to see our characters as D&D classes now.
I did put Kiva in one of my home D&D games. Not for real. I just couldn't think of a name, and then I did an Irish accent, and I'm like, I guess it's Kiva. But she was a fucking coatl in disguise. I don't think I would do that again, but things grow. But yeah, thank you. I'm super excited for this game. I'm already thrilled with the first 2 sessions, so I cannot wait for next Monday to run it again. And that is it for me.
Yay! Let's go over to... Thank you so much, Michael, first of all. And always fun, as per usual. And it seems like you're very confident with the material, too.
That's the thing. This is the first pre-written campaign I've run. So it made my prep like nothing. Like my prep was like 35 minutes today.
That's really great.
Because I've got all the tweaks in my mind that I'm doing because I am tweaking a whole lot, but at least the skeleton exists and I love the characters. I think they're really great.
It's really good. Let's go over to Julian.
Hi, I'm Julian, one half of Jacqueline Hare, and I have played Lucas. Who I don't know why, it just feels really good to just go around like helping people and taking like the high road. I don't know why I find that particularly satisfying for this character. And I look forward to that totally probably biting me in the ass later. But you can catch me on the subsequent games that have already been mentioned. You can also catch me on Raid of 1 on Tuesdays for a Paths campaign, where I play a angry little assassin boy. And also on Guild of the Phoenix, either on Thursdays for another D&D 5e campaign called Reticent, that is a post-apocalyptic game, or for alternating Sundays for a Cyberpunk Red campaign or a Vampire the Masquerade campaign. So, thank you, Michael, for playing. I enjoyed myself. I'm glad I have my sword back.
Do you like my sword, my fire, sword?
It's not a fire sword
Do you
yet.
have to? Did you have to do that? Because now I'm going to be thinking about that while I'm trying to fucking sleep.
I don't even know what that is.
Taylor, it's your turn.
I have the worst time with fucking earworm songs.
It's Diamond Sword by Tobascus.
Oh no! Now I'm gonna be thinking about Nugget and a Biscuit when I try to sleep.
Shut the fuck up! You guys keep saying words!
Nugget, biscuit, nugget and a biscuit. Dip it all in mashed potatoes.
I almost just left the Zoom call.
He is
That sounds good right about
out
now.
and an abuser.
Yeah.
Richard, if you don't stop fucking with my bones, I'm gonna...
Okay, this is the first time my light turned off, so I think we're doing better, guys.
We are doing better. That's pretty spoopy, though.
We're doing better.
Strahd's here
Taylor,
to
for
visit
Christ's
you now.
sake.
Too bad I'm fucking gonna
I
lose
have to do an
before the
outro,
14th.
Richard. You can't do that. My name's Taylor. I play here every other Friday. Like I always say, I'm not a vampire person. I'm more interested in werewolves. You know, like when Twilight
Like you're a
came
furry,
out,
right?
I was like,
Somebody clip that.
I'm not gonna explain any of my characters because that's all you have to know.
You looking forward to anything?
Well, I'm not bullied anymore. When will you guys be nice to me?
I didn't
There's
say
nothing wrong with being a furry. We're just saying you watched all of Beastars.
So did we.
So did Var!
Then you're all furries. I didn't fucking watch it.
You know, that's funny.
Var.
What? Taylor still had to do their shit.
No.
Taylor's done.
I'm not today.
Taylor's done.
You're not?
I said
Okay.
no.
Hi, I'm here to call out most of my friends, and I played Kacia, a woman, and I had fun. I like role-playing her as a person who's very hopeless.
Maybe that's
Or at least seems to be.
maybe that's
and
the
tries
point.
to ground everybody.
Maybe that's the point, is that we all have to find hope somehow.
I love it. That's my
She's
favorite
already
kind of story.
found her hope. She just has to get there first.
And the only way.
Uh-huh.
You gotta talk to a funny tiefling man, and he'll open a nice portal to Shadowfell for you.
And then that's free real estate. Anyways,
Good luck.
well, I can't tie free real estate into any other of my games that I play in, but I play in both Friday games where this upcoming Friday, I think we're playing Immortal Odyssey.
You're right.
I hope so.
I play a Scorpion who's gonna stare down some weird dark fairies, and it's gonna be funny. And it's not the Neopet Darkest Fairy, but it's a group of 3 bitchin' fairies.
Oh my god, you took me back. Thank you.
Oh, good times.
Good times,
Good
Neopets.
times.
Neopets, good times.
PlayStation 2 game.
Now we're talking about the website, my dog.
No, I know.
No, I'm
There's
talking about
also
the
the
PlayStation
PlayStation
2 video game, The Darkest
Fuck
Fairy.
you,
that I
Jesse.
fucking
Generation,
played
there's the generation
nonstop.
gap. That's
I
it.
also played on Neopets on the website,
just
but
saying that-
Darkest Fairy is what got me into it.
That's the generation gap. That's the true
Um,
generation gap.
Vampire. I'm also playing a vampire on Friday as Bruja named Vanessa, who beat the shit out of some creepy pervs with the person that she doesn't like, but now they have some common ground, so like maybe something will happen.
Yeah, fuck pervert.
Look, I'm so happy you guys got along for 5 minutes. That's all I can ask for.
That's all I ever dreamed of. On Sundays, I play on Gizmo Arts channel, where I play Feral Tiefling, who's very fucking tired and needs to rest, but he's cursed, so he can't. And then on Tuesdays, I play in the past game previously mentioned on Marina One's channel, where I play a warrior birdman who apparently shouldn't have been as stressed as he was.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
my skill.
that's neither here nor there. We're fine. It's fine. Anyway, it is my turn. Oh shit! It is my turn.
Oh fuck! Okay.
Oh god, my name's Jesse. I'm the other half of Jacqueline Hare. I help run all the video stuff on this channel, but I also run games, specifically Scion, the Immortal Odyssey 2nd edition storyteller game made by Onyx Path, where we play children of the gods who are making their way towards godhood. Look forward to fighting some fairies, actual fae, which is going to be really great. Nothing bad will happen, and hopefully steal the Declaration of Independence. That might be another option there. We may be doing stuff like that. I'm in the other games that happen in this channel. But do give us a follow, give us a sub if you want to see more. If you want to see more, which I know you do, so please do that. And we're all gonna head on out, so feel free to give us a follow, give us a sub, and I will release you from the special that is our stream. Everybody say bye-bye.